I'm trying to take it. I'm trying to take it easy. Trying to. Hello. Good evening.
Guess who's back?
It's us.
It's us.
It's Cookie and E, and we are on episode 2 of season 2 of the
Yeah,
E and Cookie Show,
from our
impromptu
long
edition.
because we skipped some months. So we chose ourselves,
Yeah.
which we should have. If you didn't catch us last time, we had a bunch of interesting topics as we do today. I just put them in order so they'll make sense.
hmm Actually, talking about a lot of sports, believe it or
I
not, and
know. I know.
sports, and apparently we're talking about hookups, breakups,
The team. I got a
rumors,
conspiracy for everybody.
and of course, Cookie with the conspiracy.
And you with the
And
90 Day
I
Fiance.
promise y'all, 90 Day Fiance. I gotta get all my notes. I have to catch up on 90 Day Fiance. I have been busy myself too, but I did catch the last episode of Last Resort, and it was very much a very sickening episode. Just
You
saw some
sent me
things.
a clip, and I was like,
There's a lot going on. There's a lot
"What
going
else?"
on
And
that
then
show.
I saw something today about a sex tape. Was that you that sent me that?
Yes, I did send you that.
I
That's gonna
was like,
be. I think that
"What?"
goes live. I think that goes on tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow evening. So
Um,
that I'm gonna actually text you when that show's about to come on, so you can
yeah,
kind of get a
please do.
roundabout of everything that's going on. There's just so much stuff going on. It's quite
A
entertaining.
mess.
Quite entertaining.
Well, welcome back anyway, everybody that sees us, comes and supports us. Thank you, 8-4, for making me get up off of my couch after watching LSU beat Arkansas for the Golden Boot once again in our possession. I love it. But
Go
while we were
Tigers.
away, pro football started. The NFL started back up, and that means it's fantasy football time. And my
I'm gonna
fantasy,
let you lead with the fantasy football. I hear everyone's fantasy stories. I have yet to participate in fantasy
it's so
football,
fun.
but there's been so many injuries that has happened that I've seen a lot of people. It's like my season is over with already.
They got to know how to trade if they're in a trading group. I mean, they gotta drop cut, make some cuts. We have spots for injured reserve. I don't know why they're not using them. What happened was is when the draft comes along, they're not picking smart. They're just picking their favorite people instead of picking strategically. I picked strategically. I'm 2-0 right now. And my little mascot is Minnie Mouse with her pom poms jumping up in the air. So when they get beat, I let them know they're getting beat by a female.
Speaking of 2-0, the Saints is also 2-0.
I know. I know. They play again, what, tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow they play Green Bay.
Oh,
So
That should be a
This is
good game.
going to be quite interesting.
It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. But yes, I'm 2-0. My roster right now, I got a good tip from an LA Rams fan. Shout out to my homeboy for the tip. Mr. Nasua from the LA Rams got me 30 points last week. And I just want to shout out Puka Nasua from the LA Rams, wide receiver. If you don't have him, if he opened on your draft, first of all, your league sucks. But if he is available in your league right now, I would suggest that you pick him up and the Cleveland Browns backup running back. I don't know how I got both. I was like, dude just tore his knee up. And this guy's just going to go to running back 1, and he was available for free agency in my league. I'm like, I must be playing against children, but whatever. So that's that. Anybody want to jump in with their fantasy football roster? I'm here for it. I love fantasy football.
Outside of fantasy football, I got to go back to the Saints, though. We have to give props to number 12. Chris Olave, because homeboy was making catches that I was like,
yeah, absolutely. I actually don't have any Saints wide receivers, but I have their defense, and they've been holding strong for me.
Oh yeah, the Saints has a very impressive defense, and the offense has worked, but we have a new QB, so it's going to take some time for them to click, but I think it'll all come together.
Absolutely. Hey, Smitty's Corner is in the comments. 8-4 is taking care of all of our comments because he already knows what's going on with me right now. It's been a long week, y'all. I have 2 games a week. I coach volleyball. We have basketball tryouts coming up. It's high school sports is more demanding than I expected, but I love it all.
Speaking of high school basketball, my daughter actually tried out for the basketball team and she made it. So yes, my schedule is about to be even more tied up. Don't ask me what position she's playing. She just decided to go try out and she made the team.
Did she ever play with her brother any?
Yeah, they did the street ball. So, I mean, yeah.
She should be fine. All right, well, I'm going to roll right into it. Peter Griffin, wait. That was your joke. Aaron Rodgers.
So, first of all, Aaron Rodgers. An injury just a few minutes into the first quarter.
He robbed.
And he is out basically for the season. And talk about getting a quick check and checking out. And like I told you earlier, I have watched this replay over and over and over and over again. And I just can't see where the injury occurred. I'm not going to question it because I'm not a medical professional. However, him laying on the ground and holding his shins so reminded me of Peter Griffin. And if y'all don't know who Peter Griffin is from Family Guy. He's the dad. And there's always the memes and the gifs of him holding his shin. And he's like, that's all I could think of the entire time I see this replay keep coming through. Over and over and over again. And it's like, bruh, I guess they didn't do their homework because this time double check did not work out.
My Jets. You ain't gonna be disrespecting my Jets, all right? Nice and Jets, baby. All day long, New York football will come back. I don't know when, but it will come back. That's all I gotta say, man. You ain't gonna be disrespecting my boy, man.
So were you always a fan of the New York Jets or the New Jersey? Because remember, they belong to Jersey.
It's New York Jets and New York Giants. I'm not New Jersey. All right? New York Jets and Giants.
Okay, you had the Giants and then you had the Jets, and you voluntarily chose the Jets. to be a
I root for
fan.
both of my New York teams, just like I root for the Yankees and Mets. You know what I'm saying?
Well, my homeboy, Corey
I root for
Webster, was
both.
playing for the Giants. I was an avid Giants fan, so I feel you on that. I kind of jumped.
I root for both. I represent my home, man. I root for the Yankees and Mets, Giants and Jets. Know what I mean? Brooklyn Nets. Know what I mean? Buffalo Bills. That's right. Embrace the grace. Buffalo Bills. You know what I'm saying? All
That's
of
what
them.
my dad played for.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he was a Buffalo Bill.
Might I also add, since we're gonna do some trash talking, we're gonna talk about the NFC South and how 3 teams in the NFC South is 2-0.
Yeah.
All right, ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm out.
So that means they better get their stuff together on the other side. The other sides, because they're not playing conference play just yet. So they just beating up on everybody else. That's what it sounds like to me. You know what I mean? But I'm just a fan.
Mm-hmm. We're just girls talking football.
We don't know anything about sports or anything. We just watch it.
However, I do
weekend.
feel bad for Zeke. I don't know what's going on. He's on the Patriots, and I don't know if he took the bad juju from the Cowboys and brought it to New England with him, but
he running back number 2, which means he don't get a lot of carries. I had Zeke on my team. He wasn't producing my fantasy football team. I dropped Zeke last week and picked up Brown from I want to say the Broncos. Is it Denver? No, it's not Denver. It's Cleveland.
I just wonder what's going on with him. I just remember his first carry with the Patriots turned out to be a fumble.
He too busy bedazzling. Let me stop. He too busy making his shirts cut mid drift. Seams in his shirts. That's what I think.
However, I do miss his hair. I didn't like that he cut the hair. I missed the hair.
Cut it? I thought he had a man bun.
I think he cut the hair. I think it's definitely not big anymore.
I thought he just had a slick back, like a better slick back than mine. And the bun was like in the back. But it looked like his hair is cut, but it's not. Because even on my fantasy team, he had a bun on top of his head. So, but I don't know. I don't know.
Or maybe that's what it was. Maybe he did get a haircut. And if you go back to biblical times, when Samson cut his hair, he lost his strength.
You remember Troy Polamalu?
Yes. Another one.
All that stuff slanging down there to knock somebody head off. So, hey, I say keep the hair. And
keep the hair.
This is Kamara's last week being suspended.
Yes, now Juvie comes back on the field.
He is on my fantasy team, and I've just been rocking back and forth like, I need a running back. And that's the one Saints player I got to pick up because everybody else was gone already. So, and nobody got him because he's suspended. I was like, it's only 3 games.
So only 3 games, and I was very shocked that he was only suspended for 3 games because once they announced it was just 3 games, I said, you know what, we're gonna take that. We'll take that. We'll take it. I don't call it an L. It's a win because I was just waiting for them to knock him out for half the season.
When you talk to the guy, like, how could he beat somebody? If he beat somebody up,
they deserved it.
Yes.
Alvin Kamara is probably like the coolest.
That person.
He's the one that will speak to everyone that speaks to him.
Yeah. He
might even speak to you first.
Huh?
He might even speak to you first, and we go to the same nail shop.
Exactly.
Because, the players got to keep their toes in check,
Even though he called Beignets,
No, that wasn't him.
Oh,
that was Jamal Williams. That was Williams who called Beignets Beignetti.
Look at your face.
And now he's out with a hamstring injury.
Karma real, ain't it? Called up beignet no damn fun.
Talking about they taste like funnel cakes. Like, dude, they must have had yours over fried.
Yeah, I don't know where you went. You know,
It couldn't have been Cafe Du Monde. It couldn't have been real Cafe Du Monde.
Yeah. But he did like the snowballs.
Yes, everybody that comes to the South loves the snowballs. And if anybody's wondering what a snowball is, it's like a snow cone, but with extra diabetes. Lots and lots of diabetes.
Diabetes.
How the old people say, the sugar diabetes.
Right. If I was rooting for my home team, it would have to be the Cowboys because I'm from Waco, but I just can't. When Michael Irvin and Emmitt Smith left the Cowboys, that's the last time I cheered for them when they retired. So that tells you a lot about how
I don't like the Cowboys. This is not necessarily the team I don't like. I hate the fans.
I hate the fans, and I don't like the owner. Now that I know he was at the school staring at little black children going to school. Mm-hmm. That's a whole nother show and a whole nother topic. Jimmy Jones, your boy, your owner, slave master. You can't tell me no different. I'm sorry. You can't tell me no different. All right, so next up on the docket. Messy Mondays. I
feel like we need the People's Court music in the background since we up on the next docket.
We talked about Aaron Rodgers. Next on the docket, staying in the sports realm. Odell, I can't stay healthy Beckham Jr. And I know his mom, Heather. She was a track girl at LSU as well. So we're all a tight-knit community. So I'm not going to go too far in on her son that apparently did not drink milk growing up because he stays hurt. But I will say this. Kim Kardashian, my boy, like, he need to really sit down somewhere.
Any Kardashian. I mean, it's
like, where did baby mama go? Like, she just fell off. They didn't say nothing. Like, she got a baby and ran. Like, I don't know, but he be having a son. His dad stayed like not too far from me. His daddy loved Houston, but I just was like, but hopefully they just having lunch and maybe it was a business dinner, you know. And
the Kardashians are out to ruin any NFL, NBA career that they possibly can. Remember when Kim was dating Reggie Bush?
Yep.
And Reggie Bush was having a rough time.
Is it like they just like, let me see if the curse will work on me? They say
I have no idea.
Curse. Bro, you're hurt already. Like, he rolled his ankle. I had to drop over.
You had Balaki Griffin. Right. In the NBA, like, you never came back after that.
You a slot 3 wide receiver, and you decide to date a Kardashian, sir. You need all the luck you can get. You need to stay away from the women. I don't get it.
Those women, I don't know, they're walking curses, and I still feel like
Eve's Bayou curse.
No one has learned, especially us, our own men. They have not learned yet.
I don't know if it's some kind of a hypnosis, like get out. I don't know what it is. I don't know what, because ain't no part of, if you look at what they look like, they were built like little boys before all the surgery. Ain't none of it real. So I'm sitting here thinking to myself, what is the attraction?
The BBL. I mean, the reality is they love the BBLs. No matter how much we can get on social media and we can denounce BBLs and we talk about natural women are winning, we're not. We're not. But that's a whole nother conversation. We're not winning.
No.
It is what it is.
We're not. Well, I feel like
there we go.
We're more likely to find someone we actually like and have longevity. But as far as what society calls winning, we are not. Okay, 8-4, what we do? Why you
He
pausing?
because he got so he had to run back up here to say something.
Hold on. Now, listen, I've heard this Kardashian stuff a lot now, you know what I mean? Listen, some people like them, some people don't, man. I'm, how can I say it? I'm impartial. I don't really care. You know what I mean? I don't watch none of this stuff. I don't follow none of them, so I don't really care. But hey, man, you know, if they able to keep a man with them, you know, it is what it is. I mean, maybe it could be something with them being cursed or whatever, or I don't know. But at the end of the day, mm,
Oh, I don't like that angle. Hold on, y'all.
But aren't they the ones that technically ran through?
but I don't do that whole body count stuff. I don't do that. I'm a man. I don't, and everybody grown. So grown people do grown stuff. So if you've been with 10, 15, 20 people, that's just up to you. You grown. I expect after around a certain age, you're going to be with a number amount of people anyway. I mean, because, you know, we have the internet, so people have more accessibility to people, which means people are hooking up more, which means people meet more people. That's just life. It just happens. So I'm not even tripping
Oh,
over that.
I absolutely understand it, but I said that for a reason. But this is not a relationship panel, so.
I don't do none of the.
You
Y'all know me.
saw me. I was like,
I don't do none of the manosphere talking points. I don't do your body count and how many kids you got and all that. I don't care about none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not the type of cat that's gonna be like, oh, she got more than one kid. Oh, she bad. Oh, she done slept with more than one person. Oh, she evil. Don't be with her. I ain't that type of cat. Like, she look good to you. You like her. Y'all get along. Be with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, all this other stuff don't matter. Like, but hey,
Of course, I don't think it matters. I just like to come with the shade, the violence, and all every now and then. You know that.
the shade.
And certain levels of petty I will come through with too, just to stir the pot. We all like to stir the pot.
Comments is what we like to call it. We're not a relationships show, but we definitely will take shots.
Yeah,
Because, you know, we hear a lot.
we hear a
We
lot, we
see
see
a
a lot.
We
And have you
know,
noticed everybody's breaking up?
speaking of which, let's start with
Everybody,
Tiana Taylor. Or excuse me, whatever her marriage.
Tiana Taylor and Iman.
Sports. And
Yeah, we
what's
still
his
in
name?
sports. Iman Shumpert,
Yeah.
Tiana Taylor.
They
After 10 years
I'm
of
like,
marriage, yeah.
but you know what? She gives me Remy Ma vibes. Like she real tough.
I don't. I think she puts on the toughness for social media. You got to think about it. She was born with a silver spoon in her mouth.
I remember her being on that 16
Sweet 16 on MTV.
Yeah. That's where I know her from. I'm like,
Yeah, so she doesn't technically. You can't say she has street credibility to her. It's like I think it's a front. I get it.
right.
Why you have to be this way, but she's one way on the screen and on stage. But I think she off screen she's a big softie, like a sweetie
Aw,
pie.
I could probably see that. Despite not being her biggest fan and not knowing too much about her, I do jam the bear with me. That's my jam.
I do feel she's a very talented woman,
She be dancing her ass off. I ain't gonna lie.
and
With
she has a
her
body, a
abs,
natural body at that. Let's throw that in there.
she's giving 1985, 86 Janet, you know what I mean? Or 1990s Janet vibes, you know? But
And
yeah,
she
what
has a
like
face that it's like drop dead gorgeous. Like she can wear her hair short, long, whatever. That's a beautiful woman.
yeah, for sure. But that makes me wonder, like, don't they have like 2 children?
They do have two.
Of what? Because there are not a lot of details coming out about what actually happened. So let's speculate. You want to speculate? You feel like speculating with me right now?
Hey, Big Rig, I got a shout out to my boy.
Oh, hey, Big Rig slaps. But yeah, let's speculate. Who you think cheated?
Well, from my understanding from reading blogs and things previously, I think they had like an open marriage where he can have girlfriends and she could have. It's something that I remember. It was before the pandemic happened.
Don't people know that don't never work? It's human nature. Even with these people like, I'm poly, they get jealous too and end up killing each other and on.
I think when you're wealthy, it really doesn't work because I think there's a competition for the spotlight.
That part.
I think when you're regular schmegular people like all of us in these spaces and the ones that claim to be high value people, but they're actually not because 6-figure ain't shit no more. If you ain't making 7, then sit down and shut the fuck up. But
I went to the store and I was looking at salmon, just fillets of salmon, wild caught salmon at HEB. And I looked at them and I was like, when did salmon become so expensive?
My thing is, when did groceries in itself become expensive? And then, we have a water shortage in New Orleans. I don't know if you've seen that in the news.
No. How's that possible?
With the drought, because living in the South, typically in the South due to humidity, there is rain like every single day during the summertime. We hardly got any rain this summer.
We didn't either. We were in a fire ban, like we couldn't do fireworks for 4
Yeah. We're not even allowed to tailgate. We're not allowed to tailgate, like to light up the grills. We're not allowed to do that.
That ban was lifted when that monsoon came through here the other day. But definitely not knowing that y'all had shortage of water, sis. I could like.
So basically, because of the drought, the water from the Gulf is kind of like backing into the Mississippi River, which is raising the salt levels. So there's no water on the shelf in the store. Yeah, it's they're telling people not to go out and buy all the water, but it's too late for that because if you go even in Sam's, like that whole back aisle where there's cases and pallets of water, it's empty.
It's expensive, but it's this guy, I know he has a store in New Orleans. It's called Life Tree Water. It's alkaline water. It's so much healthier for you. And they probably sleeping on it because it's like $3 a gallon.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if you don't want to be like getting in fist fights.
Oh, don't worry. I already got my hookup. I got my 8 cases of water.
Oh, okay.
I'm straight. But then I have a friend. The crazy thing is she got a rain catcher. And she's like, I finally get a rain catcher and I can't use it because we ain't got no rain.
Ain't no rain. It's just sitting out there melting. That is hilarious, man, but not really.
But there's ways to neutralize the salt. If you're washing hair, just add some apple cider vinegar to your water to neutralize salt, and you'll be fine. Same thing. Add vinegar to your laundry. Yeah. The thing that I'm worried about is the pipeline, and will this salt cause corrosion? Especially, I got this new refrigerator that's not even a year old, and I'm sitting there wondering, I'm like, should I just pull the filter out and shut the water line off?
Uh, yeah, are your water lines metal or are they plastic? Do you know in the fridge?
It's plastic, but it's a brand new refrigerator.
You don't want it to crystallize.
Yeah, I don't want it to crystallize, especially at
I
the spigot.
I'd unplug it. I would.
So,
I personally would unplug my fridge from the water source.
so it's just a click of a button.
The water salty down there. That's crazy. That's wild. I've never heard
Yeah.
that in Louisiana. Y'all surrounded by water. That's
So
wild.
yeah,
But you know that was part of my conspiracy theory. Last show, the world is like burning, literally, and we're not even paying attention. It's on fire. It's gonna do something to heal itself soon. So if you live anywhere above latitude, I forgot which one it is, but if you live anywhere above Oklahoma, you might want to start heading south because I feel like we're moving into another ice age. That's just me.
I don't know what's going on.
I think that it's sad. I kind of like them together. They did. I caught a couple of their shows when they had a reality show, but she gives like independent Negro. I don't need you. I was born rich vibes, and I don't think he hoops anymore, does he?
Mm-mm. He's actually done some rapping. He's dropped a couple of songs, but of course it didn't go anywhere. Kind of like how Shaq had a music career that didn't go anywhere.
It's actually popping off.
NBA music careers don't really go anywhere, or vice versa.
I didn't know he was a rapper.
Yeah, he dropped a couple of songs. I think there was a music video, and she might have been in it too. So he, does his thing. Which, by the way, I think he's a very attractive man. A lot of men, I mean, listening, a lot of men, a lot of women I've heard say that the man is ugly man. But I don't know. There's something about me and the black man and the big nose. Love it to a certain extent. But I like it.
Island you came from, he ugly to me. I ain't gonna sit there. He couldn't touch me with a 10.5-foot pole. I don't care how much money you got. If you ugly, I'm not talking to you. Disclaimer. My daughter's dad played for the Buffalo Bills and we're not together today. So, and he wasn't ugly. He didn't want to grow up. He wanted to be a Toys R Us kid. Can't do that when you go.
But even Toys R Us went out of business.
So did our relationship. He's a good dad though. He a cool dude though. All right, so moving on to separations. Now that we know that Odell is cursed, I definitely, as soon as I saw that, I ain't gonna lie. The ankle injury plus Cam, I was like, Odell gotta go off my fantasy football team. And anybody with Odell on their fantasy football team, make sure you get rid of him stat. Jeezy, the snowman. And what's that chick name? I can't say it. I know that sounds horrible, but
Jeannie Mai, one of them. It's a Mai.
This chick had so many red flags, y'all. Like, she was talking about how she loved black men and she'll do it for this and that, but white dudes do it for her.
Her exact words was, she liked her dark meat on the side.
Yes, her dark meat on the side. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, was he trying to prove a point? Did he not know who she was before he got with her? Did he not research? Like, vetting. I know this is not a dating show. Please ask questions. That's simple. That is documented on her show that she said that. And it's not just that. There's so many other things. I'm actually mean. I was raised mean. And I'm just like, and then y'all out here talking about. Meanwhile, my nice self is single. And I'm just like, what? And she built like a little boy. You know what? I'm starting to think in another direction. Go ahead, E. How you feeling?
Um, when they first went public with their relationship, that clip was the first thing that came to mind. And then when it was announced that Jeezy filed for a divorce, that clip came to mind again. And prior to coming up here this evening, apparently there's rumors that she had an affair with Mario Lopez. Remember Mario Lopez from Saved by the Bell?
Slater?
Was that him? Probably so. I guess so. I forgot what his character name was.
He was Zach's frenemy.
I guess so. The only Hispanic person on the show, yeah.
I call him Slater. Slater married.
Is he?
Yeah, he got a whole happy family. What?
That is the rumor.
This is what I heard on the blog. AC Slater, right? This is what I heard. She's public. She liked to be public. She liked to post the baby. She wanted to walk the baby to school. I didn't know the baby was old enough for that. Maybe it was the nursery. She wanted to do things out in public, and Jeezy is a little more private, but she kept pressing the issue, and her being her mean self, got divorced because she wouldn't budge on the rules of the house. I mean, he set some boundaries for the child and the family. He said, I don't want nobody to know where I live. And if you always hopping and bopping out the front door to go on these random walks, somebody gonna find out where Jeezy live because you live with me. And I heard that her mom lived with him and somebody else moved in recently. So her whole family moved. It's like the Jeezy hostel.
But that's also part of Asian culture, not giving them a pass or anything. But you notice, they all live in one household.
I know. They had that on Family Guy too.
So
Jack Meyer was gonna stay in. You remember that episode? The first night he stayed.
You said Family Guy, and I just went back to Aaron Rodgers and Peter Griffin. So that's what came to mind. First of all, give a shout out to Smitty7 for coming up on the panel. Thank you for coming.
Hey, Smitty. Nice to meet you. What's up? I probably met you before, but forgive me, I'm exhausted.
I think I've seen him on some shows, but I've never been on a panel, so this is going to be interesting.
Oh, you say that?
Am I clear?
Weird tone.
We hear you.
Am I clear?
What did you say?
Can you understand?
I have no.
Yeah, I can hear you. Well, anyway, I'm Cookie. It's nice to meet you.
Oh, bye. We heard you. I don't think, maybe he wasn't hearing us.
Maybe not. But yeah, anyway, so it's not a shocker for me. You chose, my boy. Now you might end up having to pay this chick. And she had a baby. I'm not pulling out my violin for you. I'm tired of pulling out violins for men that choose bad. Women get a bad rap for choosing men that are horrible. I get that.
I guess that, in other words, the bag is secured.
People choose horrible people. It's just humanity. And I don't know if he was, like I said, trying to prove a point, or Jeezy the snowman. How you end up with her, bro?
Yeah, that was definitely, I do know when that relationship went public, that was a shocker.
Girl, I was like, they lying. That ain't gonna last.
And then now that I think about it, it's like that was possibly an exploited relationship because she went public with the relationship, and I guess she needed it for her views on the show and her social media. She needed to make herself relevant again. Because at that point in time, it was whatever twin is on the show, whether if it's Tia or Tamara, So it very much could have been,
Let me see.
Something we don't care about.
mm-mm.
Yeah. They're not a sponsor of the show, but guys, this is a Stanley Cup. My ice been in here for 48 hours. The Sonic Ice works best. I only drink alkaline water, and it makes it's my new emotional support cup. I thought I'd throw that in there.
Well, I have Arctic, which is the knockoff Yeti that's exclusively sold at Buc-ee's.
I love Buc-ee's.
Hey,
I've had an Arctic before.
so. Welcome back, Smitty. Can you hear us now?
All right. Respect to you. You can hear me clear, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All
I
right.
think you were having an issue hearing us because we heard you perfectly fine the first
Hey,
time.
what you want?
You say what?
I was asking 8-4 why he popped up.
Oh, I just came to say what's up to my man Smitty. You know what I mean? I'm glad you popped in. What's good, bro?
Sorry. I digress. Because you usually only come up to reel us in or something, so I was just like, oh Lord.
No. I'm jumping up to be a part of the panel. You know, Smitty's here, man. I definitely wanted to give a shout out to my brother, man. He's very supportive. And salute to him. Salute to Smitty's Corner as well. Make sure y'all follow him on all social media platforms. You know what I'm saying? But definitely, man. You know, I'm gonna let him, share his expertise, and I'll just be here muted up and doing my stuff in the background.
All right, so before you go though, how do you feel about Jeezy being married for 5 minutes?
I'm gonna pass the ball to Smitty for that one. I'm gonna pass the ball to Smitty. No, I'm gonna come back, y'all. I'm gonna pass the ball to him. I gotta do some stuff in the background, but I'm here.
Well,
Smitty, the mic is yours.
oh man.
What's the question directly?
The question is, did you see this coming?
No, because I didn't really keep up with their whole anything. One thing I would say about Jeezy that I do respect now, from what I'm hearing, right, what I've gathered thus far, he basically moves as if I would move if I was somebody big, to the best of your ability. Stay low radar, right?
Agreed.
You know, so it's not even so much about was I keeping up with their stuff. I would give him credit to the sense of he made sure that he kept it private. We're only hearing about this now because of what's taking place. You know, so I give him salute on that. Now that I see everything that's been taking place, hindsight being 2020, I would say yes, definitely I would see that coming. From what I've gathered, the man has made it very clear certain things like don't walk our daughter to school. Because it's just a safety thing when you are that big. You got crazy folks that just want to try to take y'all hostage just to get some bread, and y'all go through some crazy shit. You just never know what can take place. So I would say that he is a man that definitely has put in barriers, put in precautions, and she wanted to be on her. I'm just doing me, living my best life, and doing what I want to do. And this is just a small example. Like, there are a lot of situations that take place like this often. And, it's primarily because Jeezy is famous. So to land it, just note that things like this do happen more than you know.
Yeah.
It's just that, everything's not always broadcasted. So just take this as something that, it should be looked at. Definitely. I digress. My mic is muted.
I wholeheartedly agree with that.
My bad, Smitty, for throwing you under the bus, bro. My bad. I wasn't trying to throw you under the bus. I just had to run to the restroom and come right back. Sorry about that, y'all. So I think with Jeezy, I think he wanted to. I know he's been kind of talking for a while. That he wanted to build a family, and I think this was his way of trying to do that. I don't fault the man for doing that. He tried and it didn't work out. I mean, it is what it is. I don't really think that they're compatible like that. But hey, that ain't my household. I'm not that man. Neither here nor there. Salute to him and his family and their kid, and hopefully they can co-parent and make it work. You know what I mean? But her moving her mom and her brother and all that, like that's Asian culture. It is what it is. So I don't really trip off for that. That's what they do. So yeah.
I just don't think he knew what he was getting himself into.
I think he knew.
Brother into their home right after the wedding, ticking time bomb. Well, there you have it, folks. Mother-in-law, brother. He black, baby. He black. He married a black man. He liked his privacy.
Well,
he set boundaries, and she wanted to, and she kept breaking them. And that's, I think, initially more than the family, what got her dumped. That she just did not want to be told what to do.
No, you said it right there. You kind of took the words out of my mouth. What the man was making sure that was set in place is that, to the best of his ability, right, with no perfection expected, I'm going to make sure that we're secure.
Yep.
I'm going to make sure that everything, to the best of my human possibility, that y'all are always protected. And that's the one thing that I definitely hear that black men especially lack on. And so here it is, we have a prime perfect example of that, right? And if that woman doesn't want to listen, what it is that you're not really defying that man. You're breaching security. So when certain things are put in place, it's put in place for a reason. And if she is, as we see, crawling back, as you would say, that obviously has a lot to say to what it was that he obviously was doing. Not just talking about what he was obviously producing. She does not want to leave that security and comfort. So I'll leave it at that. Rock out.
I saw someone post, Nina posted, she also admitted she used to trigger him on purpose. Can you put in the comments exactly what she did to trigger him? Because we don't necessarily follow them. So I just kind of want to know, what did she do to trigger him? Because I'm highly against anybody triggering anybody in a relationship. That's foul. Yeah, it is abusive. So, why would you push someone's button? So I would like some clarification as to what was going on.
And
there was some talk about her having I believe, anger issues. And so she was one of them real behind the scenes, real feisty, snapping, one of those, real hard to manage. And she spoke about that herself. That's the least bare minimum I know. But if somebody knows more, you can expand upon that.
I just feel like, isn't that something that men monitor as they date somebody? Like, now you're looking at getting a divorce, having a child. Jeezy, I'm sure he's worth more than her. There's just so many things that could have prevented all of this. Was it worth it? I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Put that comment back up from the blogs and video clips. She said that when she wanted to do something, she would curse him out and say, "Who the fuck do you think you are?" and ignore him.
Let me say this. Let me say this.
Husband, she wanted a baby.
As a man, right? As a man, listen. As a man, you know what I'm saying, and real men know this. If you know what I mean. This is why I kind of don't really back a lot of talking points when I see a lot of men on these panels and they complain about women or whatever. Because my thing is that if you live in America, there's two different types of women. There's women who are more traditional, and there's women that's more modern. A more modern woman, she mostly ain't really coming from a religious background. She do got a strong family unit. You know what I'm saying? It's a, they're not holding her to a standard where she has to really listen to a man or even kind of really be on a man's program. She's kind of going, you know what I mean? She's going to be on her independent stuff. I'm not saying that she won't respect her man in a certain light. She would. But if she's more modern, she's going to kind of move in a modern way, which means she's going to, she's going to want the relationship to be more of a partnership and less. You know what I mean? Super Sherelle, what's going on? Good to see you, sister. You know what I mean? Unless, she comes from a traditional standpoint. She comes from a traditional standpoint, which means like she's part of a church movement, or her family is very, very traditional, where they kind of raised on the traditional veins, where she has to, listen to a man, or they have arranged marriages or something like that. Then yeah, you kind of can expect that from her. But if she's just one of these regular women walking out here, and she just really modernized, and she may hold some traditional values, then you may have to deal with some stuff. Like, I don't think no man walking around in 2023 thinks that if you're just dealing with a woman and she don't really come from a core traditional background, that she's just going to be submissive. That's delusional. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. To me, it's delusional.
What really struck me was the fact that it's tradition for all these people to move in their house, but she mentioned in an interview once that she watched her mom pretty much run their household, like run over her dad. And that's where she gets her attitude from. And she was very proud about it. And I'm like, did this man not pay attention and watch any film on her? Like, what? Like, she came from a household where the mom just made all the decisions, ran over the daddy, and the daddy just did whatever. And that is something that carries over into marriages. Like, when you grow up with a household, that's usually what happens. So, like, in my household, it was what Dad said. That's what we went. Period. They might have a talk about it later, not in front of us. But for the most part, in front of the children, Dad made the announcement. Even if they had a prior discussion at the family meeting, Dad was the speaker. So it just weirds me out that she was so traditional to move in her family, but not traditional enough to know that in Asian culture, that's not normal for a woman to act that way. So I guess they were probably more Americanized than I thought.
I think that's an issue with just the modern day relationship period. We hear about people being delusional. You more ever hear about women being delusional, but I think across the board, it's just all of us, we're delusional. Because we're cherry picking what we want from certain cultures and trying to create something new, and it just doesn't work out. But I'm not a relationship advisor or coach or anything like that, so I don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, too late.
Well, moving on, because I could roast Jeezy all night because I'm a fan of his music. I love Jeezy. Oh, man. My president is black. I love Jeezy. I just don't think he made a good decision, and he about to pay for it. All right. Bringing it back to Louisiana. A boy, after 14 years, BG
is out of prison.
He has been released from prison, and he is as zesty as crawfish.
He's zestier than crawfish. He is zestier than crawfish. A bag of Zapp's potato chips.
Y'all disrespectful. Y'all disrespectful.
I mean, this BG. I used to listen to BG before my races, like
the original Hot Boys, like before the 99 and the 2000,
yes.
like.
So I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I ain't seen Wayne visiting. Wayne in Colorado smoking and introing Deion Sanders. Like, Baby was there, clearly.
Not shocked at all whatsoever.
But I mean, I don't care about his sexuality, but was that the best thing for PR if he fixing to jump right back in the studio, which he already has done?
The videos definitely hurt him. I will say that. The videos that have circulated since his release, especially after him getting his locks retwisted, and everybody was kind of like,
Be Gizelina?
I don't know.
Disrespectful. Y'all are so disrespectful right now.
Right, hold on. How are we being disrespectful? We're just talking about what they're talking in the blog. That's it.
We the block queens, man.
Yeah. Wait, we're supposed to come with the violence and the mess and the heat and
The
the
question.
salt.
We got questions. I got questions.
I mean,
But you know, depending on
the
where
man got
they're
his hair
from,
retwisted. What's so wrong with that? He got his hair retwisted. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Like, what did he do that was so like out of pocket? Okay, he got locks, so he's supposed to move his hair off from his face or whatever.
well, he didn't even do it like that. He was like, but I just lost my earpiece.
He could have been like, yo, this look good or whatever, you know, like a hot boy.
But then, once again, this all comes back to social media. Everybody's running and jumping to put everything out on there. It's like, yeah, it's great. I'm happy he's out of prison, all of this other stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
But that's a rough time to catch somebody coming out of prison.
yeah, it was early. I think they should have waited, let him get his masculine on. I don't have any problems with people with that preference. I just feel like a gangster rapper that was a hot boy that was in prison for hot boy-ish crimes. We got to remember what the original hot boys meant. See,
The block is hot.
yeah. So and then we come out and he like so timid, like, yeah, my hair looks cute. Right.
They definitely should have helped him get rid of the gold teeth before they put him out on.
I gotta cut in on y'all, man. I gotta cut in on y'all because I seen the clip that y'all talking about, man. I seen what people were saying, but I'm gonna keep it 100. I didn't really see nothing that would make me make a statement like that about the brother. Like, you know, he ain't been on the ground, you know, over 48 hours. You know what I'm saying? He getting showered with love. You know what I'm saying? He get his hair done. You don't know what kind of emotions that man was going through. He probably was happy and shit, but to just put that whole spirit on him, like, you know, he's zesty and everything. I gotta see a little bit more, man.
But that's what we're talking about. So should it have been released to the public? Should these videos from PR or whoever put them out there, should it have went out?
Why not? Like, I mean, like I said, I seen the videos that you guys are talking about, and I didn't see nothing that would make me say the man is zesty. Like, I really didn't understand that. The first person I heard speak on that, to be honest with you, was like Whack 100 and the Clubhouse people. And I was just like, I don't see that, man. Like, and then I seen other people.
But you know what? We're in two different places, though. So probably what I see down here, especially with him being a New Orleans native and I'm in New Orleans, it is definitely different than probably what the North, the West Coast, the East Coast is seeing. It's definitely Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and the Panhandle of Florida. It's different. It's not the BG that we know.
It looks zesty. Like, okay.
Let me know when I can get into this before we move on. Just let me know when I can have a moment, because I mean,
okay.
The fuck.
So
man.
I'm gonna say one more thing.
Wow.
I'll let the men
Wow.
panel speak, because I like to speak. Oh, I don't do that. My thing about it is I didn't hear anything. I didn't know anything. I didn't know about a blog. I didn't know about Hot 100. What? None of that. I just saw it, and the first thing that came to my mind was, fucking.
You thought he looked a little. You thought he looked a little zesty to you, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just us having an opinion.
Woman, there was no input. There was no outer input from anybody. Girl, here's this video with BG. Look, it wasn't like that. I was just scrolling through. I had seen he had got out of jail, and then I had seen the video before I read the caption, and I was like, "Why he moving? Why he moving like that? Why he snickering? Why his neck doing that?"
Maybe I didn't catch all that, but I'm gonna go ahead, Smitty. Do your
But
thing.
that's what I was saying. Why what we saw in the South, we saw it before everybody else saw it, and so that's where so what was going through people's minds once the rest of the country started seeing it from the Breakfast Club and everywhere else, and all of these other blogs, that they took it and ran with it.
Yeah, because I saw that like. He hadn't been out 48 hours.
I kind of saw it different.
And it was
man.
a video that was live.
Perspective on it though. I saw it different, man. I done got my hair retwisted and I felt like the motherfucking man when my shit was done. I ain't gonna lie. I looked in the mirror and I was like, man, this shit look cold to them. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I didn't really see all that. I seen the brother smile. I didn't really see him twirl his hair or do nothing that was super feminine or anything like that. I just didn't, and I've been in the system like that, and I've seen punks and I've seen how punks move, and I didn't see it. I mean, maybe I missed it, but
there's any way you can upload that video. I'm sorry, and I'm gonna let Smitty talk. Please find it. But go ahead, Smitty. What you got?
Yeah. So all right. So that man been there. He's been in there over a decade.
14 years.
Now I did 7 years myself, 7 and some change. And when I tell you, when I first came home, the adjustment that I had to make was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And I only did 7. It's a whole lot of bullshit that goes on nowadays, and you got a lot of fake ass people out here who like to put out anything. Why? For a click and a view. We all know clout and clicks and likes and comments is a whole nother drug. Right? At once upon a time in the streets, like real deal in the streets, right? You don't say shit about nobody unless you got any like sufficient paperwork. That man been in there all that time. You ain't never heard nothing about him while he was in. That man gets out 48 fucking hours later and everybody's on his damn dick. And it's disrespectful because we do all this shit about propping up all these fake ass fucking ass rappers and shit now, right? Who ain't about a damn thing. You got a real one that just stepped out. He's actually a real one. And he's being disrespected and shitted on. And he ain't done nothing but been released. Like, I mean the disrespect, yo. And I'm saying this as a real street nigga, like as somebody who real deal just retired from this shit only just 5 years ago. I'm just now really coming back into like, so this is what it's like being a citizen. And it's like, I shit you not. And it's like, it's so wild because everybody, it's like most people saying it's garbage that they saying. I ain't never lived shit. I ain't never been through nothing. Ain't never been through nothing. You ain't been through shit. You ain't been through nothing. But you got so much to say. And it's just, you know, it's real disrespectful to like folks who real deal have lived that life and made it through it, who actually have a testimony because we made it through the first 4 letters of that word. And here it come. All these soft ass little fuckers out here got something to say. Y'all niggas need to watch y'all mouth, man, for real.
And on that note, my brother did 30 years in prison.
Yeah, but it's kind of interesting, like the perspective.
Roll his neck like that. But I get what you're saying, my boy.
And that wasn't to the ladies up here. That's not to nobody up here. I'm talking about the bloggers and people who got something to say about that.
Okay.
For the record, no, I'm not talking to nobody up here.
Shout out to the panel. Shout out to Smitty.
What's up,
I
Simon?
appreciate it.
Simon, what up, man?
Across the pond.
What's up? IS, yo, the perspective is we do have black brothers that are being locked up, and they do have their perspective. We do also have black brothers that have never been locked up, and that's not what we talk upon most of the time, because we I've got a whole heap of sisters, and I tried to get them to like be introduced to some people I knew, but they were never buying it. They were never biting the carrot. They were never like, yo, Simon, yeah, let's get with that. They were always going along with the narrative. So I have my heart out to Smitty when he turns around, and the story of being in that situation is kind of interesting. And I've had homegirls that I've laid in bed with day in day and out, and we never had nothing like sexual, nothing like that, and she will have her whole heart like tuned into someone behind bars, and I'll be like, why are you doing that? Like, and then like she'll be like, yo, don't even mess with my stuff. Like, and I'll be like, yo, okay, cool, but you're lying in a bed with me today. So what does that make me? Does that make me the simp guy? Like I'm the guy that's laying in bed with you, whilst you're dealing with this guy that's behind bars. Okay, right? She's got the whole Rosemary and everything, and yet. Then she's like, okay, look, yo, that's the guy I'm dealing with. Okay, so she turns around and she has kids with this guy. Now she's got 2 kids with this guy, and she's trying to explain to herself why she had these children with this guy. All along, 5 years before that, I was like, yo, why are you dealing with this guy that's incarcerated?
That wasn't necessarily the point that we were talking about.
Yeah, he just went on a whole different program, and I knew that shit was gonna fucking happen, man. We was talking about BG, bro. If you thought he was on some zesty shit when he got out, you got out talking about a chick that.
But he doesn't even know. He doesn't know who BG is. Like,
what you're not acknowledging, what I'm saying.
Hey, look, no, hold on, real quick. Listen, hold on. So like, this is the thing people don't be like really recognizing.
I'm just saying a story that makes you understand.
Hold tight, Simon. Like, hold tight.
Yeah, 7 years.
What it is this, right? Folks don't be recognizing. You got to look at the videos when that man first went in. When he first went in, like real deal, we was still on baggy jeans. We was on extra large coats and clothes. You got to understand when that man went in, and then for him to be out now, what he's coming out to a lot of weird shit. He coming out to a whole lot of perverted minds. He's coming out. He's not realizing that it's a whole lot of stuff that's changed. The way people look at how you move, what you say, everything has changed. That man been in there. Ain't nobody giving that man 1 second or 1 day to just adjust. And I'm only speaking on this as somebody who's had to do that himself.
Yeah, but why should they?
Hey, Sean. Hey, let me say something real quick, Cookie. Real quick.
Oh, go
Hey
ahead.
Sean, you need to slide up here, bro. I want to hear your perspective, bro, because you kind of you're saying something different. So I want to hear what you're
All
talking
right.
about.
I
Um,
have to say one thing, Simon. So, first of all, we're speaking on someone that was just recently released from prison,
I know what the topic is.
and the mannerisms that they displayed. Um, Prior to the entire nation seeing it. However, you being across the pond, you don't know too much about this
Why
specific
do you,
individual.
why do you think that?
Because
Because you
last
just
time
said
you was on the show,
you just said I don't know.
You don't, bruh.
Why do you say that?
name a BG song.
Name a BG song. What group is BG part of? Where is he from? Where was he born? What year was he born? What did he go to prison for? How long was he in prison for? Come on, answer.
I could just Google that shit.
What does BG stand? But
he said
you can
Google.
Google it, but you don't know.
Hey, but can I just say
So
something real quick? Just real,
Can I just
real
wait?
quick.
Just before, I'm not being disingenuous. I'm just saying you don't know. You don't know their family personally. You're not knocking on their doorstep. When the Tottenham riots happened in
See what you
London,
did, Lady E. Goddamn.
when the Tottenham
See what you
riots
did.
happened in London, like
You got 'em going.
unless I walk
I'm not speaking on anything in London.
No.
I'm legit speaking about
No,
something
but-
that happened in New Orleans,
No, but
Simon.
you're trying to say I don't know. All I'm saying to
You
is-
don't, though.
Yeah, but all
You
I'm
don't.
saying
That's
is-
a fact.
No,
You don't.
The comparison, like, yo, I'm not.
But hold
I'm
on,
not-
real quick, Simon. I'm gonna let
Okay,
you
cool.
go, bro. I'm gonna let you do your thing. But look, I just gotta say something because I gotta kind of piggyback a little bit off of what Smitty said. He did go in a different era because Lady E and Cookie, y'all see him as on some zesty shit, and that's cool. Everybody got their own perspective, but kind of like what Smitty said, right? He went in, you know what I'm saying? We was on a whole different height. The way times are now, I even got on. Oh, what's up with it, Sean? I'm glad you came up, bro. I even chopped it up with 84, man, because that whole pause thing. I'm from the West Coast. That shit kind of came from the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? So we don't really run that shit like that. But everything that you say just on some regular shit, you damn near gotta say pause because it's like people, they mind is on some gutter shit, bro. It's like the weirdest shit ever. Like just in regular conversation, you know what I'm saying? So I gotta kind of agree with bro when he said that, man. I mean, this guy gets out, it ain't 48 hours, bro. The guy ain't had no type of smut on him his whole time he was in there. Like it's like there's no credit for that. You know what I'm saying? And then his first fucking video, and like I said, you know what I'm saying? I seen him smile, I seen him happy, bro. Like, I've been in that type of situation, you know what I'm saying? So when you come home, you know what I mean, it feels good, man. I mean, I didn't see anything that was showing, something, and that's why I want to hear what Sean got to say. I didn't really see that, bro. You know what I mean? Now, maybe I missed something.
And I get that, and that's your opinion, but it all goes back to being careful of what you put out on social media. Even we talking about how Jeezy and his marriage with Jenny Maya or whatever her name is, and certain things that you put out there. That's what we're talking about.
Nah. But hold on now. Did he really put that out there? Or did who? Now, first of all he did was just get his hair done and then take a picture. That man, you don't know what emotions. How you not know that man wasn't damn near about to well up and cry and wasn't holding?
And that's what I'm talking about. So I'm talking and I'm speaking on. If someone's shoving the camera in my face, you got to cut that shit out.
Yeah, you don't get it.
I mean,
you cold, man.
I mean, you speaking from the standpoint of a publicity person. and everybody.
How am I a publicity person? How you gonna say I'm a publicity person?
Did I say that?
You just
Did you
said
hear what
that
I
I'm
said? I
speaking from
said
a
you're
standpoint of a
right.
publicity
So,
person.
because
So
you're more
that you
concerned
just
about, because you're more concerned about what
no.
public people are concerned with than what
I never
other
said
people.
anything. I'm
You ain't.
concerned about anything because,
Can I
like
finish
I
my
just
point?
said
Can I finish
before,
my
you
point,
got. Oh,
please?
this is my
Can I
show,
finish
baby.
my
This
point?
is
Can I?
my
Okay, that's
show.
fine.
This is
They
my
just asked me
show.
to come up.
This is
That's
Man,
my
fine.
He is
show.
turned
I
up right
understand
now.
that.
This is my
nine,
show.
Hey, did I
eight,
disrespect your
This is
show?
my
7,
show.
What does
6,
that?
Six,
Okay,
5,
that's
No, because I'm not gonna
4,
sit
4,
here and let anybody put
3,
words in my mouth.
2,
two.
So to
Come on,
sit there and say that I'm speaking from a
So,
publicity standpoint, when I sat
good,
there and I
good.
clearly
mute up.
said, I said that I'm
Everyone
speaking
pause.
before everybody
Okay.
else said anything.
All right. Well, can I finish my point? It's fine. I wasn't
So
trying
you're
to
gonna have
disrespect
to
your point.
retract that I'm speaking from a
Okay, I mean,
publicity standpoint.
Hold on.
okay,
Time
No,
out.
because I don't like it when
so
people
I
put
mean,
words in my mouth.
and I
Okay,
don't like to be
time
interrupted,
out.
but
Hold on.
I
I
don't care if you
understand
don't
that.
like to be
Okay,
interrupted, but don't sit there and put words in my
all right,
mouth.
so allow me to be able to apologize before you interrupt me.
Hold on.
You just
Hold on.
sat there and you jumped in without
Nobody, hold on.
even.
Nobody.
Because
Put
you
everybody in
jumped
the
on
back.
me.
I'm putting everybody in the back. I'm putting everybody in the back. I'm putting everybody in the back. Listen. All right. I want to hear everybody's points on this. All right. Come on. Let's have order, y'all. You know what I mean? Let the man say his piece. You know what I mean? And then we'll go from there. You know what I mean? I'm not going to let nobody disrespect nobody up here. Y'all know how we rock. All right. Let's get it. You know what I mean? This is the Ian Cookie Show. Please respect them. All right? And I'm going to let everybody rock. Let's get it.
First off, Lady E, my apologies if I put words in your mouth. That wasn't my intention. The point of view that I was speaking from is the fact that to the point of his imagery, which he was speaking to, that tends to be the job of a publicity person in the entertainment industry. So I wasn't really directing it at you. I'm just saying that to me, none of that really matters as far as his sexuality and all of that, and as far as people jumping to conclusions and all of that. Who really cares? But a lot of people think that because you serve a bid and you serve it honorably, that you can't be zesty. And that's not true.
And I understand that.
Yeah. And so the point that I'm making is just because if he has those attributes, to each his own. I don't care what his lifestyle is personally, but to sit there and defend it on the honor that because he serves his time and he's a real, that makes no sense whatsoever. Because a lot of those people front, and y'all know it. A lot of people who's the hardest people in the world front and act like they're not zesty. So let's not just sit there and act as if that matters, that he has served a long bid or that he has come out honorably from serving his bid, because that really has nothing to do with sexuality one way or the other. If he is zesty, that's his business. Rumored, his whole crew has been rumored on that at one point or another. So why are we sitting here acting like we do not understand or recognize that? And me
But what we're
personally, like I said, go ahead. I'm sorry.
We were speaking on what was said on a local standpoint and what happened on a national standpoint. So what the rest of the country saw was blown completely out of proportion. I didn't start hearing the zesty stuff until probably about 48 hours after he was released, when everybody saw that he was released. But at the end of the day, I feel as if, and just like I said, we spoke on Jenny Mai and Jeezy, there's certain things that should be held back and being shared from social media. Because it can come to haunt you in the long run.
He wasn't protected at all.
Exactly. He was not protected at all.
So are his people.
And so a lot of people, and you said it yourself, that, whether his sexuality is an issue. It may not be an issue for you, but it can also hurt his career. We've seen that happen within the Black community. The sexuality affects the career.
In the past, yeah, but there's so many men who have been looking zesty and it did not affect their career. Young Thug, zesty looking often and still revered as a great artist and a real cat and all of those other things. So let's not act as if zesty in this day and age is particularly something that's going to destroy your career, because it's not. If that was the case, then a lot of people careers will be destroyed. All the people who wore dresses, all of the people who wear makeup and nail polish, and all of the other things that they do that is suspected to be zesty. So the point that I'm making is that we have kind of skewed our whole perception on what zesty is and what it actually means, and why are we acting like we don't?
Exactly.
I'm happy you're saying this. I'm so happy you're saying this. I'm happy.
It's a trigger point. It's a trigger point. Because the whole thing is like, I think like the whole internet thing has allowed us to be very personal with each other and get our points across on a personal level. Like, but in terms of like, realistically, let's say not on a personal level, but I'm just saying like, let's say like Lady E was trying to have a Hollywood career, right? Now, what's she about to do in that set of circumstances? Like, it could be anybody. I'm not saying Lady E in particular. I'm just saying, like, what you're gonna come across is that you may have to be zesty for a minute. You may have to, like, just bring out them boundaries. Everything that we've seen on TV and in the movies with every type of character that we tune into, buy into, pay per view into, and subscribe to for our entertainment purposes until we get to that point. Then you are able to walk the red carpet and go, yo. You could tell me I'm as zesty as you want to tell me I'm zesty as ass, but I'm walking
Simon,
this red carpet.
Simon, there's actually a larger point to all this, I think.
All right, Docky.
What's up, Simon? Hey, how's everyone doing on the panel? I'm here to support Mr. Best in the World Intellectual Soapbox. I'm happy to be here. I just want to say this.
Thank you, Dark Leg. I appreciate you, man. I wish I had some of that sandwich, but thank you. But
hey, I didn't eat. I know I was eating that shit like it was the last meal in the world, but I haven't eaten all day.
He's in those lakes.
So the thing about it is, right? The word zesty, right, is just another negative stigma that's attached to Black men in an inappropriate fashion by the quote unquote sisterhood, in my opinion. And the thing is that yeah, absolutely. The thing is that there's always these, I just want to say this. There is a negative stigma on the word zesty, and I guess men who are more feminine, right? But the thing about it is that term is associated or extrapolated in the wrong directions, right? A lot of Black people in the Black community think any man who's intellectual and doesn't have a vocabulary that doesn't go beyond saying the fuck and nigga every 5 seconds is zesty. Anytime you verbalize your thoughts in an educational way, there's going to be some Black woman somewhere saying that's zesty. He's feminine.
That is the first time I've heard that.
He's feminine because he can articulate himself well and doesn't use ebonics, right? And then that's one part about it that I have an issue with. Actually, there's three. The second part is everything that's zesty can't be everything that's opposite of thug nigga sagging his pants, walking around looking like he about to fight somebody 24/7. Just because a Black man doesn't purport himself in that fashion where he has to walk around looking like he's about to fuck somebody up doesn't mean he's zesty just because he's not street. That's the second thing. The third problem I have with it is the stigma, right, is not consistent and is not directed in the inverse. I'm a person who loves consistency, and it really is like a pet peeve of mine when logic isn't consistent. So if we're going to judge black men for being quote unquote zesty, right, then in the inverse, put a negative stigma and judge black women for being dykes or exuding masculine traits. So if this person being zesty, like I think it was Lady E said, could ruin his career, right, or have negative effects on his career, then the same should be said for Queen Latifah. Because you know what, she there was a time, I don't know about today, but for a long time she was presenting herself in a very mannish type of way, and it was celebrated amongst black people. It was celebrated amongst black women. So if black men have to deal with the stigma of not being completely masculine and zesty, then make sure you don't go see Queen Latifah's movies. Make sure you don't go hear her music, because she's not being a woman, and there needs to be a word associated to that. So consistency in the black community is lacking in logic, and that's the issue that I have with this whole zesty argument.
So, if you were paying attention from the get-go, I never said anything wrong that I was not going to not support him. I am just speaking on, and we were just speaking on him being released and what was said.
I wasn't going after.
I gave my opinion, but the fact that you're coming back with the whole sisterhood, which is not what this panel is about, first of all.
But
I just see but you know what though? I opened my mouth because someone put words in my mouth, and I feel like a whole bunch of y'all just jumped up on here and y'all were ready to fight.
What's the panel about?
I'm not going at you, Lady E. I'm saying that the
sisterhood
is the
let E tell us.
Go ahead. No, wait. I'm just saying that I'm not coming for you.
Because I never not once said cancel BG. Cookie never said that either.
No. I'm not saying you said that. I'm saying that you made a point, which I thought was a valid point, which is when a black man is exuding those quote unquote zesty qualities, it could ruin his career. You're right about that.
Exactly.
And yes, that's what I'm saying. The only thing I'm saying is that it's very selective pertaining to the sisterhood. So something like that could ruin his career, but Queen Latifah, or I don't know, what's her name?
Young M.A. because I
or Eve, right? They can have flourishing careers exuding masculine qualities in their art, and it's celebrated by black women in the black community. It's inconsistent logic and inconsistent judgment. That's the point that I'm making.
And then another thing that she said which was a first, about if a man is not speaking Ebonics, then he's feminine. That was the first I've ever heard that.
Then you don't know the black man's experience in the country then, and that's fine.
Well, I'm a black man and I'm in the country, and that was something that I believe as well is not true, because there's a bunch of Ebonic speaking people who are showing characteristics of the zesty, who are street as hell, that I just gave examples of. And so therefore it doesn't have to do with the intellectual. But to your point, the women do support both sides of zesty in its entirety, whether it's a zesty woman or a zesty man. It's supported often by women. The stereotype of where it could hurt a career is not because of the women, it's because of the men.
Thank you.
Because the men are who has the stereotypes against the other men.
I have no more wine.
So and that's a false sense.
You don't need no more, E.
And that's a false sense.
Look, it's about to be a margarita next.
Oh my God! Wait! You guys, can I read the comment? Can I read Nina's comment?
You can read it, but I'm gonna talk.
She said sisterhood is irrelevant. It's not celebrated. It's just not discussed. Also, black men have a higher propensity for being down low than women, this is moot. And that's actually so incorrect. That's 100% false. There are more bisexual and lesbian black women than there are black men. Just by nature of the numbers, women outnumber men tremendously. There can't be more down low men than there are women when women outnumber men. What are you talking about?
But the stereotype hurts who more, the man or the woman?
Because the man, because that's the direction of thought that the
And exactly that's what the point that we're bringing about BG. Like, this can hurt him because the man, the brotherhood, like you and everybody else on this panel, people
think
I was
he
looking
loses
forward to
streak
your answer.
because he's S.
is gonna lose. Exactly, and that's why I said, and I go back to, this probably should not have been put out yet.
Because I'm
Even though he didn't put it out, I think it was his hairdresser or whatever that initially put that live video out. That could potentially hurt his career because you have exactly.
And I'm just saying that it's because of I'm saying you're right, but the reason why that is because of the inconsistency of logic within the black community in reference to the sisterhood. That's my opinion.
It's not sisterhood. It's the men. We just said a couple minutes ago, not even a couple minutes ago, that women are more supportive of the butches, the dykes, the gays.
When it comes to the women, not the men.
Hey, can I say something real quick before Queen get up in here? Because we gotta hear what Queen talking. Oh, go ahead, Cookie.
They ignore me, Big Rig.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Queen.
What I was gonna say was, not only do we support it, we get flack for supporting it, because when we get on other panels, it's like, oh, trans, y'all complaining about trans people now and want to be calling women and calling y'all cis women, and it's y'all's fault because y'all support them.
Me Too movement.
No, those are two different
Me
things.
Too. We've been trashed about Me Too movement. That is a fact.
Those are two different things.
No, it's not. They tie them together.
Let me ask Sean something real quick.
Wait, Big Rig Slaps. I'm so sorry. Zamal, I'm Dark Lake Revived. You might not know who I am, but don't tell me to not cut you off again. Go ahead, Big Rig Slaps.
This is her show, baby.
I'm Dark Lake Revived.
I don't care who you are.
Oh shit! Hey, check it out. So look, hey, I gotta.
That don't mean anything.
It don't mean nothing that it's her show. Don't tell me what to do. Go ahead.
I'm not saying
you can leave though, if that's always an option.
You done blame some shit on me in the last.
Exactly.
And
I was referencing Lady E, not you. What are you talking about?
How about clean your
What
camera?
the fuck?
Do that.
Hey, so I wanted to ask Sean a question real quick.
I want to come up.
Say it again.
I want to ask Sean. Let me derail y'all. I want to de-escalate that. Hey, so Sean, bro, I was getting what you were saying. You know what I'm saying? Just because he did his time, we didn't hear nothing. Whoopty whoop. You know what I mean? Don't give him all that praise like that. I get that. That's right. And that really wasn't my point. My point really was the clip, bro. I kind of was more on just a clip that everybody seen. So like, you seen the same clip I seen. You know what I'm saying? So you obviously picked up that he looked a little zesty. So my question is what did you see in that clip that made you, think that? Because maybe, like I said, maybe I missed something, bro. I just want to hear it from your perspective, what you saw in that clip that made you come to that conclusion. That's all.
The rolling of the eyes, I mean, there was a lot of little attributes that were somewhat feminine, and in the way that he presented himself. Now, again, I'm not one to really judge whether or not his sexuality don't really matter to me one way or the other. But the point is, who knows that could be a relief? Y'all talk about his career. Who knows that he even is concerned about a career? He might be concerned about just being able to be free. And I mean that in all aspects of the word. What was that? I'm sorry.
He's already posted himself in the studio.
Yeah, it was already said he was going to be back in the studio before he even got out.
But what I'm saying is that his career, only people saying his career is going to be he might not feel that way. He done seen a lot of people who now he can who reflect a lot of zesty attributes become successful. So that might not even be a concern of his. That's more of a concern of people looking at him. So we don't know where his head is.
That's on y'all, because guess what? Women support everybody.
I mean, I just said that point, so I don't dispute that point. But the point is, never mind judging him. Let him come out, do his music like everybody else. Come out and do their music, and if they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. And if he's zesty, he's zesty. If he ain't, he ain't. Why does it matter?
So I got one more question for you, Sean. So before that video came out, you know what I'm saying, of that, you know, that infamous hair appointment, right? Did you ever see anything zesty from that brother?
Let me say this. I never really paid attention to him like that, but since the video came out, saw before and after, and I saw some attributes that could have been suspect then. Yes, absolutely. I saw some attributes that we overlooked and we didn't even think about, and we, you know, yes, literally today I looked at a before and after. There was somewhere he was definitely hard and it showed no reflections whatsoever, but there was some attributes that I saw that could be reflecting zestiness. Yes.
Okay, for sure, man. I could dig it, bro. I seen you in the comments, you know what I'm saying, and you was definitely like not saying what I was saying, so I had to just hear your perspective, bro. But yeah, I appreciate you coming up here on the panel, man, and
thank you,
and letting that go like that, man.
Well, I came because you said you wanted to ask a question, so I just came up. But y'all have a great evening. Enjoy yourselves. Toast to the wines. Toast to the ladies. Toast to the men.
No,
enjoy it.
We were saying the exact same thing Sean was saying.
Yeah, for sure.
But you need to be validated by a whole nother man. But we got
no, I didn't.
Wait. In fairness, yeah, men usually validate each other like women usually validate each other.
I just wanted to hear his perspective because I heard the lady's perspective. I wanted to hear his perspective as a man on what he sees as being zesty in that video clip. You know what I'm saying?
And let me say this before I leave. I've been in the industry for over 30 years on in and out. I've seen a lot of zesty cats who are very successful and have had accolades and people would never believe and wouldn't think and so on and so forth. And not just in music, in entertainment, in sports, in a lot of different places, and ain't nobody really persecuting them. But the point is that it's becoming more acceptable in this day and age, and whatever. I think that pause nonsense is zesty.
Yeah, I don't be feeling that shit, bro.
Yeah, like that's a zesty game.
That's some different shit. That's what I'm saying.
It's what's wrong with it? It's a zesty ass game. You pause. That's some zesty stuff. From where I'm from. You don't go around that tapping and pause. Yeah, if you got to validate that you're not, you suspected that you might be.
That is a little bit different, man.
Forward, we do have to give Queen the floor if she's still there. Queen, where you at? Because I hadn't talked to you in like maybe 2 months.
I appreciate you though, Sean, for sure, man.
All right, y'all have a good one. Be safe.
Well, hello, Queen. A lot has happened since you jumped on, since I opened my mouth, since I said what I said, and all of those things. And you probably heard me, and she said, "Oh, he is back." Would you like to expound or elaborate on what we've been speaking on? Because we're getting a couple of different things coming up here. So
I don't know who you're talking about, but I keep hearing some word zesty, and the last thing I think about zesting something is a lemon. So I don't.
What's wrong with the lemon? That's a thing. I don't
really know what's going on. I'm just sitting in the back, listening. So, are you talking about feminine traits in somebody, or?
We're specifically talking about the recently released rapper BG. Mm-hmm. Do you know who BG is? First of all,
Is it like gangster rap? I don't know. Trap music? I don't know. I don't listen to that trap. I don't listen to
So
that
yes,
trap.
it would be gangster rap from
Yeah,
originally
no.
from New Orleans, Hot Boy. So
Don't you
he
start, Queen.
recently.
Don't you start.
Hey, somebody was asking for you to play the video again. Maybe that'll help her get
Yeah.
acclimated on what happened.
That'd be dope if 84 can play it though.
What's up, Big Rig Hits?
Oh man, you know.
I don't know if they had the video.
Christopher
But,
Noel Dorsey, that's his name.
So he was acting a little, you know, some feminine.
He definitely wasn't
like the
the
way he
same
was acting after he got his
individual
hair done.
before he went in and after he
Okay.
came out. Now we had Smitty who elaborated that he did some time, and during time does change you, and when you come out you are a different person. We did have some individuals who stated that it's women's fault that men are labeled zesty.
What? I didn't know I had that much power over somebody. Let me go find out. Let me go find out.
Well, then you don't know.
Don't you start,
And
lady.
wait. If you
Come
don't know you
on,
have that much power
tell
over
you.
somebody, you don't know your
I
role as a
don't.
woman.
I have no
Baby
control
gangster.
over how
Baby
Lady
someone.
E off that good
I
wine,
have
boy.
no control over someone's behavior.
Big
someone's
Rig, you know I
character.
love you, but I'm just gonna keep it real. I'm
Yeah.
gonna say what I have to say. I'm going to give my opinion, and
That's
I
called rejection.
am transparent as fuck. I'm just gonna say. So if I agree with you, I agree with you. If I disagree with you, I disagree with you. I'm not gonna lie to anybody on this panel.
Mm-hmm.
It's all
That's
good.
a fact.
But that's the beautiful thing about opinions. Everybody have one. Don't mean you right. So it's all
Exactly.
good. I ain't got that much power over nobody to make them zesty or not. So anyway, so where's the men then?
That wasn't the point. But if you don't think that women can influence male behavior, like, is that what you're saying?
Everybody has it as a power to influence. Now, whether I follow through with that influence, it's on me.
Of course.
It's my choice to make that decision. But
Of course.
everybody has
Yeah, let's go,
everybody,
Eddie. Go.
everybody has the power to influence somebody. Why is it always, women have this and women are doing this? You men too. Y'all pimp women out all the time, got them on the track. So what is that? So I mean, come on.
All right.
Everybody has power to influence.
Wait,
I didn't know I had the power to influence a
Everybody
woman
has
to get on the
power.
track.
Everybody, hold
Okay,
on.
cool. Maybe
Hold
you
on,
don't.
hold on. Time
Maybe
out.
you
Time
don't have
out.
that power.
Just like you said.
Time out. I'm playing this video. Everybody mute themselves, okay? I'm playing the video. So we can all share our opinion once I play this video. Let's get it.
And fans quickly started to say that he looked zesty. And my thing is, zesty where? Like, all I see is a black man who just got his locks redone.
This is how we do it. Friend.
Yeah,
Friend.
Fresh as this. I'm ready now.
You ready, baby?
I'm ready for prime time.
You ready?
I'm ready for my power moment.
I don't get it. But yeah, so before we get
Yo, I'm about to get myself booted. I'm sorry,
how-
individual.
I'm
I'm just
confused.
saying, yo.
Okay,
The
was
thing
that
is,
zesty or what do y'all
I
think?
didn't
That
see
was
no
just
I don't know
zesty,
if
bro.
it's,
That was
I'm
just
just
somebody
saying.
who got their hair done.
That's a brother
I
that
don't-
was
I don't
smiling.
see
He
a
got his
black
hair
man
done.
with
I didn't
dreadlocks.
see zesty.
That
There's a
you know,
difference.
I don't
There's
know.
a
Anyway,
difference. If you've
Okay.
ever like taken a woman out, had a woman in a relationship, and like you take her for a dress walk, and like she's like, oh, how do I look like in this dress? How do I look like this in this? Yo, how do I look like this? That's what that came across to me. There's a difference. Like bros be getting
Simon.
dreads. Yo, bros be getting dreads. They know what dreads are about. There's a different thing. But when you're getting on camera and you're like doing that whole profiling, style filing, Ric Flair thing, nah, that's a different thing. I don't know. I mean,
Well,
there's
Simon, Oh, I'm sorry to cut you off, bro. My bad.
No, you're not cutting me off. You came in.
Well, I was gonna say I think that's a great point because the thing is what I saw is the first 2 shots of him smiling toward the camera. I did get effeminate vibes off of that. However, was it a woman holding the camera doing this?
Yes.
We
Okay,
I don't know.
and
We
that's
don't
the
know.
thing. I think it was a woman holding the camera doing this because the way that when they frame pictures and then they move the camera certain ways is to exude certain body parts that they have and stuff. And when a man
Here we
is
go.
holding
So
the
we
camera,
now back to blaming the woman now.
wait,
No,
one
it's
second.
not a blame thing. I get what he's
That's not a
saying.
blame. I'm not blaming.
No,
I'm not
because
blaming.
if
I'm saying
it
that
was a
I'm saying
man,
that, like, if it was a
they
man holding the camera, them certain angles and stuff that wouldn't have been done.
he'll be
And
like, "Yo, bro,
yeah.
yo, that looks tough." It's just a different type of language.
But
Exactly.
my thing is that did the woman control his smiles, the way his eyes look? No, he did that. So how is it her fault?
How
Even
wait,
if she
wait,
held the
how
camera,
how did
hold
he
on.
do that?
Even if she held the camera, even if the woman held the camera, it's his choice to smile, bat his eye, wink,
Yeah,
tilt his head.
it's
Did she tell him tilt this way, look over
no,
here? No, come
no,
on.
No,
it's
she
totally
Like,
literally
his.
tilted
damn,
the
why
camera
No,
does
the
it
other
you're
always
way.
right.
gotta be a
No, Queen,
blame
you're right.
game?
You're
Why
right.
does
You're
it
right.
always have to
No,
be a
no,
blame game?
it's
Why
not a
does
blame
someone
game.
always have to
No,
be
no, no,
responsible for how somebody acts or
no,
reacts?
no. That's
It's
not
no
you're
one's fault. It's his
you're not.
choice.
No, Queen. We're not saying that. What we're saying is there's a difference when like
So the
you
woman
know
held the
we
camera
no
tilted a
no
little stump,
no it's
so
just,
she
it's
made him look
no it's
zesty.
not a blame game. All we're saying is there's a difference.
Whatever.
We can tell if a
Y'all
woman's hold
tripping.
no
Yeah,
no
y'all
A woman
tripping.
is
we're
holding
There's
the
no
camera
plenty.
and
How
a
many
man is
times you
we
see
can
oh
men
yeah
tell.
we're just
posting themselves,
saying
laying in the
oh
bed,
look I can
licking their
tell
lips,
look
blah
I can
blah blah?
tell
Come
I'll
on,
give
stop
it look
playing
no
yourself.
no
Stop
Stop
playing
playing yourself.
yourself. That's right,
Stop
Queen.
playing yourself. Y'all
yo
tripping. Everybody wants to blame somebody
nah
for
it's
something.
not we're
We're
not trying to
adults.
blame nobody like if you
We're
can
adults.
just chill for a second listen to me
No,
we're
I
not
ain't got
blame
nothing. You ain't saying
we're
nothing.
not
You're saying the same thing.
no I ain't saying the same thing I'm
You
trying to
are.
tell
You
you
are. It's all good.
how
Queen,
I'm
seriously, let
Keep
him
going.
I'm
speak.
just
For
saying
real.
Keep
Let him
going.
speak.
I'm not saying
Well,
we're
I
trying
was
to blame
actually talking,
anybody
so it didn't matter. But go ahead.
no but I understood where you were coming from because what you were saying is yo we see these clips and yeah we could turn around and just ultimately go oh yo it's a blame game but we're I ain't blaming nobody but the perspective is there are thousands and upon thousands of these clips that go out right but it's just understanding who's taking those clips so it's like if you actually look at that clip for real is that a man filming that or is it a woman filming that and I'm not detracting from a man or a woman I'm just saying we need to understand what we're looking at because then that forms our opinion on how we can move forward and have
No,
a
it don't.
have a
No, it
discussion
don't.
No, it don't.
So
That's
I'm
what it
behind.
tends on
No,
it.
no, no, no.
Hey,
Hold on,
Queen.
hold on. He said something to me. If
All
I'm
right.
behind the camera and I'm holding the camera a certain way, how you hold your face, how you swing your hair is my fault. You
I didn't
stupid
say
for saying
nothing
that.
about fault I
You
didn't say nothing
stupid for
about fault
saying that. Don't matter who was holding the camera. He chose
Yeah, it
to blink,
does.
swing
why
his
why
head,
did you what
tilt
okay
his head
so
the way he wanted to do it.
okay
So
so
what are
why
you
why
talking
did you
about?
why
What
did
are
you
you
go to
talking about? I
why
hold
did you
the
go
camera
to
for plenty of men. Ain't nobody over here looking zesty. What's
why
wrong with you?
why did
Why
you
are
go
you
to
talking
fault
like that? He
why did
chose,
you say
if he
that
wanted to look zesty, he chose to look zesty.
no one spoke
That
about
was his
fault
fault.
ma'am
How is this the
ma'am
woman's fault? Because
ma'am
she was holding the
nothing
camera.
no
Oh,
one
I
spoke
bet you
about
a
fault
woman was holding the
no
camera. What?
no one spoke
Y'all
about
sound like
fault
clowns.
it's
You
just
better be glad I
perspective
can't put emojis up here.
it's
Ringling Brothers
perspective
and Barnum
yo
and Bailey is back.
Hey,
we're
can you
not
bring up
Yeah.
that
I'm not even
comment? Can
trying to
someone bring up
argue with
that
you
comment?
yo that's
Hey,
crazy
Queen, what did you
He
see
says
in that clip?
or in the documentary says he
Did
seems
you
happy
see
to be
Zesty
no
in that
matter
clip,
who held
Queen?
the camera. Thank you.
I saw somebody who was smiling at the camera and was showing off his hair. So
Did you get any
I
Zesty
didn't
vibes?
see
it
zesty.
it
But
matters
if a man
who's
wants to
holding
look
the
at
camera
another man and worry about his sexuality, that's on you. That ain't got nothing to do with me. That's a whole nother topic.
but why do you want to have that perspective where there's a fault game going on here like where we're just looking at a clip and going okay we're trying to sort of make some sense out of this
I jumped off of here because people was
No,
throwing
not you. I'm talking to Queen because that's where she was coming from.
It's
She was like,
okay. It's
it's a
okay.
fault.
Don't
It's
worry
like, no,
about what Queen got to say. Go on. Don't.
I'm interested because I'm
you're not.
interested.
Simon, prior to her jumping on here, there was a folk game that was placed in.
So stop playing yourself.
So do you think the same thing? You
I don't
think the
believe
same
it's
thing?
no. I believe if he chose.
No,
to
it's
look
interesting.
sexy,
I'm trying to understand
I'm
the mind of a black
answering.
woman. I'm just
I'm
trying to
answering you.
understand.
I'm
All
answering
right.
you.
So
You may understand and you may not,
you-
but that's
you-
not on me to make your intellectual capacity strong enough. But anyway, like I was
It's
saying,
the intellectual
it don't
soapbox.
matter. It don't matter who was holding the camera. That was the first thing that was said. Oh, it's probably a woman holding the camera. So he's blinking because it's a woman holding the camera. What if he was holding a selfie stick? Is it a
So,
woman's fault now because she
what
gave
what
him
was
the stick?
missed? What was missed from what I said was, what if that was
I'm
a
not
black man
talking about
holding the
what you just
camera?
said. I'm not talking
Okay,
about
all right,
what you
okay,
said.
cool. All right, I'm gonna back off of that.
Yeah, you should back off.
But it's irrelevant, right?
All right.
Say something,
moving on.
Cookie.
Big Rig, what you sipping on over there? Because I'm on my
Nothing.
second
I'm
drink.
smoking. I'm smoking. You know that.
All right, here we go.
Well, like I said in the comments, we're back. Cookie Dunn has to go and grab her a drink and
That's right,
process
Cookie.
everything.
Nothing wrong with that.
I ain't processed nothing. I process fast.
Y'all got a hell of a panel up here right now, though. I see E and Cookie right now. Y'all sided.
Thank you for coming.
The fact of the matter is,
We've never gotten this intense on our own show.
we off our timeline.
They shining because they zesty creators.
We speak on.
They got the zest
We're
in them.
literally a panel for discussions about rumor reports and happiness. And somebody always tries to come up here and make it a gender war. We got out of the gender war game and had in 8-4 was gracious enough to give us a space where we could talk about the stuff that we want to talk about.
I think
And
that's
I get
disingenuous.
you cut me off.
Yeah, you're right. Go ahead.
And we still get pulled into these same conversations that we don't want to be involved in. We literally are kikiing during our shows. Like if you want to go watch season 1, that's what we do. We do think it's disappointing that somebody allowed BG to be exposed like that, whether he is homosexual or not. It does not matter. I am a Hot Boys fan. Whatever he drop, I'm gonna listen to it whenever it comes out because I love BG. That's not what we were talking about. We were talking about the fact that the nation is now calling this man zesty. When I first saw it, I was like, that's not the BG I remember. He was looking a little zesty to me. That's my opinion. I use the word zesty because I like saying the word zesty.
Why
What
is he
difference comes with zesty?
why is he looking zesty to you?
If you just listen to what she said, the BG before he went to prison and the BG he came out after he went to
I
prison.
went to Louisiana State University. I met this man. They used to come play basketball at the rec. So did Master P. There's a
And
certain
BG
way
out
this
been
man
long
carried himself.
before Cash
And
Money
that
Records took
ain't
over
it.
the 99 and the 2000. Like BG goes
That
way
ain't it.
back.
You keep reciting that shit.
I know I met this man at the club. I was there before
He's
BG
saucy
got
right now.
locked
That's what's
down.
going on.
So I
No, but Cookie does have a point. Like we come up here to kiki and ha ha, and it's like we've had people come up here this evening that's never been on the show, and it's been a whole gender war, and that's the whole thing that we were trying to avoid. And this is the first time like the shit has gone down like this on this panel. We've had Simon who would try to come and throw a wrench and stuff, but we would correct him. We like the humor, but it's like we got people coming talking about the sisterhood and the brotherhood, and we're doing this and we're doing that, and this show was never built on that. in the first place.
May I address
We
this?
literally were speaking on, if you first got here when the show first started, we was talking about NFL injuries. We talked about LSU winning the game. We were speaking on fantasy football. We were speaking on the celebrities
Jeezy.
and the
You
breakup.
guys are making
And not just Jeezy, we even talked about Odell Beckham and Kim Kardashian. We spoke on all of that, and then we bring up BG
BG.
being released out of prison, and like shit hits the fucking fan.
Can I please address what you guys are saying?
Hold on,
First of
hold
all,
on.
you get
Can I just say one thing real quick, briefly? Just all right. So look, I would like to. All right. So let me clarify my main gripe, and I think anybody up here and anybody listening who has lived long enough has gone through this. Somebody just says something. Nobody checks with you. Nobody asks you anything. Next thing you know, all around town is you're this, you're that. One thing I do not, I'm just not, again, so nobody on the panel, I'm just speaking in general, right? To the listening audience. I do not respect folks who just go off an assumption of something. Look, the fact is this, like we say, there's no paperwork and like for example, you got that rapper Lil J. There is actual proof on this man. You got a whole lot of folks. There's actual proof on these people. All I'm saying is that I think we all have gone through a situation where we have dealt with, hey, bro, why ain't nobody checking with me before y'all just start going out there saying this dumb shit? And that's just where I'm at. Like, let's just be honest. Somebody saw that, and somebody with maybe a big enough platform said, that looks zesty. And you know what people do? Exactly what they always do. Be a herd. Be a herd. Yep, be a hive mind. And just go with it. Don't ask no questions. And so next thing you know, we got this trickle effect. But whole time, all people are going off of is a facial expression in a picture. And I mean, this is just so amazing to me. Like how all of this is coming about because this man had a facial expression in a picture.
Black men can't
He said nothing. He did nothing. It wasn't no puffy moment kissing somebody like Chris Brown or somebody on the lips or some shit. Nothing. He did nothing.
You just say Chris
And I'm
Brown.
I'm just saying, I just want us to really peep game on how quick it is for your image to be tainted. I want us to all pay attention. I don't give a shit how much work you put in. It is that easy for folks to just go ahead and destroy everything about your legacy and your name because somebody had an assumption. I just want us to pay attention to that shit because I'm listening. But y'all go ahead and rock out. I digress. My mic is muted.
What we were talking about was exactly that. I'm glad you said that. Because when I saw the reel, I was sitting on my couch. I have no platform. I do this for fun. I'm an athletic coach. I coach children. I coach young boys and girls to become better athletes and go to college for free. So I gain or lose nothing from noticing mannerisms and body language from a man. When I saw the video, the whole video of him after he got his hair done, the facial expressions, the way he rocked around and flung his hair around, reminded me of something that I would do after I left the salon and got a silk press. My opinion was based off his mannerisms, his body language, which I also have a degree in criminology, which is body language. Now, whether that is because he's homosexual, whether he was feeling insecure, whether he was feeling unsure, whether he was feeling emotional, I don't know. But to me, it came off as zesty. Did I go on the internet and say, hey, y'all, look at BG. He looks zesty in this? No, somebody else did. But they shared my opinion, but I didn't even comment on it. Because guess what? I don't care if he is or not. I'm talking about this on the show because it is a thing. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna support BG regardless. I'm not gonna be one of the people that cut him off if they find out that he got zested out in jail. It's never the women.
What?
And I won't let anybody up here and say that we're the reason why his career. What? We're just bringing it to the light on our show, lightheartedly. This shit done got way too serious. I was already tired. I told Aiden this. It ain't even that serious for us to have been talking about this for the last 45 minutes to an hour. It wasn't even never supposed. I ain't even got to talk about my conspiracy corner, which goes into the planets and how the planets were aligned in all the football games that had fights this
We
week.
didn't even get to 90 Day Fiance, really.
To get to 90 Day Fiance, because people so worried about a sisterhood that don't exist in my lane. I got 4 sisters. That's the sisterhood I live in. My
Hey,
dad
let's
was
move on to the next topic then.
Bro, we after the 2 hour mark, we ready to go to bed.
That part.
Man, you know what, E? Don't you ever drink that wine again.
Well, hold up, wait. I'm on my tequila right now, but no, it's like for real. Like
Yo, drink that shit.
Rig has been on the show, and that's what I'm saying. It's like we spoke about everybody, and we put opinions about everybody or about everything in the tabloids, and literally we spoke on BG, and like I said, everybody came running up to the panel. It's like, what the fuck, bruh?
And no, it's
At
okay.
the end of the day, it's like, what the fuck?
But hold on.
Like
Let me say this. Hold on.
we
Let
come
me.
here to have fun, and it's like people coming in from the left, people coming in from the right.
Yeah, because
I guess.
your idea, it gets challenged by some people. It's a natural process of conversion.
But if you follow the show from day one, you would have known. This is not what we are about. But now that you've made your debut, welcome to the Eating Cookie Show. You know exactly what the fuck we're about.
Doing this shit.
You like you, man. Just chill. Just chill. Like,
Because if you know Lady E and if you know Cookie, we don't go on these panels about these things. We avoid it by all means necessary. But when you have panels about conspiracy theories and just random stuff outside of relationships,
You caught
we
that
are
dodgeball
there.
tonight.
We listening to you.
Because at the end of the day, we support the black man. And I have to say, hold up. No, I ain't finished. I ain't finished. Hold up. I ain't finished. Give me 1 second. I did not get the opportunity to give Smitty his props for coming up here and giving us his story and about being locked up. So I have to commend him for that. Okay?
Shout out to Smitty.
But the thing is, Cookie and I don't come up here to attack a gender. We don't come up here to attack sisterhood. We don't come up here to attack brotherhood. However, we had certain individuals that did come up here. Like I said, once we hit the word zesty and when we spoke on BG, it's like, oh, we got to tear them down. And this is not what we're here for. This is exactly why Cookie and I have this show, is because we got tired of the bullshit on other panels. And if, I don't know, maybe some of y'all have seen Z or Cookie on other panels where she has been completely disrespected.
Berated.
Wait, who disrespected?
Mike muted the whole 9 yards. And look, Simon, you don't call me a bitch one time on the panel, so I ain't forget that either.
Wait. Call it out, E.
I'm just saying nothing but the truth.
All right, hold on.
When I said that in jest. I wasn't
Simon,
trying to be
hold
real.
on. You mute yourself. I'm muting myself. Now listen. Hold on. Now listen. Okay, but this is what topics do. When you have interesting topics, they're going to inspire engagement, which is what, as a network, we should want. We should want to build engagement. know what I'm saying? But it has to be respectful. So I have no problem with anybody sharing their perspective or opinions. That's why you have the topic. So people running up here, definitely. I want the whole internet to run up here. Run up here and share your perspective. That's cool. Some people may feel like it's women drawing a narrative. Some people may feel like it's aliens or whatever. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? It is about building engagement. So when we have panels as a network, people come up here building engagement. That's a good thing. You know what I mean? The only thing that we require is that people are respectful. That's it.
Hey,
You know
can
what
I
I'm
say
saying?
something to that, please?
So,
Can I say something to that?
definitely, I'm gonna let you rock. But
Yeah.
but
I
hold on,
wanna
bro.
I
Let me
wanna
just
actually speak on that. So
let me finish. Let me finish. At the end of the day,
oh, my bad. I couldn't hear
no,
you. You
you
was
good,
low.
you good.
My
At
bad,
the,
brother.
at the end of the day, you know, as a network, we just require people to be respectful. So I love Dark Lakes, and I love what Dark Lake does. I love that he speaks analytically. I've praised him on several occasions. I've also, you know, helped to give him some love and just how he should be and what he should do as a content creator, how he should move because of just his impact and how great I believe that he is. And the same thing with everybody. E, Cookie, you know, Riggs, you already know. Simon, you know, we've had our talk, Simon, you know already. Queen, you know what I mean? Smitty, you know, we definitely, definitely gave each other, you know, love and respect. And that's what it's about. So as long as we respect each other, it's cool. Anybody can believe anything they want. Anybody can come from any background they want. And I want to build engagement because that's what the panels are about. But Smitty, go ahead, then I'm gonna go to Dark Lake. So go ahead.
Yeah. So I mean, only while we're on this topic, because I actually have been wanting to say something about this exactly, right? Now, I've only been in these spaces, I'll say, about a year now. That's it. And I'm a very observant person, and I sit back, and a lot of y'all, you know, even like myself, you know, we all watch each other. We do. We've all seen each other somewhere, right? And I first hopped up on these spaces because, you know, I really did want to go ahead and share my story, you know, talk about what it was that it is I made it through. And so I tried to find like Black spaces. So boom, I found it. And so I come into these spaces and I hear, you know, on the front line, you know, a whole lot of like, basically, to put it in a nutshell, I totally get it that a lot of us come up here for, honestly, let's just keep it real, therapeutic reasons. We come up here to vamp. We come up here to share our minds. We come up here to just kill some time. You name it, right? But one thing that I do notice is,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
but one thing that I do notice is that it's some folks that come up here and instead of using these spaces to put your feet up and maybe just kind of kick back and tell us where it all came from, you come in here on some sock and boppers and you trying to use the panel as like a punching bag. And you're using everybody like that with it. And it's like, you know, I think we need to remember to keep our balance. Like, you know, don't have diarrhea of the mouth. You know, try to make sure that you remember that you don't never know who's looking at you. You know, the whole nine. I'm not perfect at all. I've definitely had my mistakes, my bumps and bruises coming up along my way, learning this whole space. But one thing that I've always, like, nobody ever had to tell me this shit. I just know this because I live this in real life. If we're talking about something, we're talking about something. I really find it very boring to listen to people that all agree. Everybody's I, yes, oh yeah, absolutely, I agree. Oh yeah, yep. I said the same thing last week. You did? I said it yesterday. Like, that shit's boring and it's weird. I love to hear from people that actually think opposing thoughts to me. But what I do not tolerate in any form or fashion is disrespect, name calling, and all of that other shit. And I just find it fascinating how people just don't know how to keep it at. Look, man, we all got a life. As soon as we click off of here, at some point, we're all going to hit that X, that red X that's right there, and we're all going to click off this bitch. But can we just keep it respectful and learn from each other? If somebody says something you don't quite get or don't understand, I don't get why people just don't be like, hey, can I just ask you what you mean by that? Just ask. Be respectful. You don't get it? Ask that person. You know, but all this other shit, I don't really get that. And that's why I'm real selective where I pop up. And mark my words, my two sisters up here, soapbox, of course, you already know it's love. Trust me, I observed before I popped up. I don't just go anywhere at this point. And it's for a reason. Because I just don't really like to deal with the fuckery. But with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out.
That's why we on here. The fuckery is real.
So, I agree with everything that Smitty just said. And by the way, Smitty, you're Fish and Grits as well, right? Does that
say it again?
Fish? Do you used to call yourself Fish and Grits?
No, nigga. That was when it was Chef Appreciation Month. I'm a chef. So that was just the month when I just made all my names be different, like food names. That was just for 30 days. That was just my own little thing.
No. I was just saying that because
no. But I did have that name one time. Yes, I did have
we
that.
were on a D show, and I was talking to you on that show. I was like, "Is that the same person?" Yeah, cool. Well, it was nice seeing you again, man. Everything you just said was facts.
Respect.
I actually had to learn that the hard way, where you were talking about some people like to hop on these panels and use it as a punching bag, right? I kind of turned into that because I have very, very strong opinions.
I've seen it.
Okay, cool.
But so you're speaking on it like that's growth, like respect.
Right. So
respect.
Yeah, and that's the thing where there's this term dogmatist that I've talked about before. And it's like when you want to like bolster your opinion. Oh wait, there's something going on in the background. Oh shoot, somebody got music. Hey, I don't want
someone needs to mute their mic.
Somebody got to mute. I don't want this show to be flagged or whatever. Okay. All right. Yeah. So that's what it's like. Dogmatist is when you're bolstering your point. You're instead of coming in with good faith and just having the discussion. I used to do that because I really felt like I have this personal opinion that there's an agenda against Black masculinity, against giving Black any form of authority in the Black community, right? By tricking us to go against the patriarchy. And that's my own personal opinion. And sometimes when I see the whole gender stuff being projected on a show, oh, you know what? This is Dark Lake Revived. I'm about to hop up on this panel and put these people in their place. So I did fall into that category of what you're talking about. But on this show, that's actually not what I did. I was referencing in general where I think and why I think the term zesty in reference to Black men in general is problematic. And sometimes, I'm not criticizing Lady E or Zamael, but sometimes it's very, very difficult to have conversations with women about topics in society in general is because they personalize everything, right? My statements weren't toward Lady E personally or weren't toward Zamael Jackson personally. But what I was saying was personalized, and then when someone has to say, oh no, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about the sisterhood in general, then it distracts from the main point of the conversation. And I don't think that's every woman's problem, but it's a common theme that I see amongst these spaces in reference to conversing outwardly general topics. So that's what I would say. That's something that I find very interesting about the male and female dynamic of having these types of conversations. But in no way, form, or fashion am I trying to bully somebody. I want to cross-reference my ideas with other people to gain a greater understanding and figure out what the actual problems is in the society. And one way that I do that is just like pointing out inconsistencies in logic, whether that's from a man or a woman. So that's what kind of like motivated me to have these discussions on panels in the first place.
Well, don't use words like there You all.
Can I quickly
So what
address?
word should I use? Please, if I don't
Hey, he
use
needs
those words,
84. He needs a dose of Lola. Next time you and Lola get off, that's where he need to come.
okay. So Zamile,
No,
tell
you
me.
don't.
Don't use those words, right? Tell me which words to use
Great
instead.
pill, that part.
Can I quickly address what he said like previously to the
Go
conversation?
ahead and apologize, Simon. Make it quick because I want Cookie to move on with her topics, and we're about to close out real soon. So go ahead.
Okay, so I just wanna make it clear that at that point in time we was on knowledge and relationships and I was going through some shit. It had nothing to do with her. And that's just the way I speak. And I speak like that in general. Like it wasn't a personal thing. It wasn't like personally directed. And now, like, given I would say approximately like 8 to 6 months on YouTube, I could see how black women could take that personally. But that's not how it operates in my real life. But I do apologize. And I can see how she could have felt offended in that sort of way, and I would never do that again, like on these platforms, because people get offended on platforms in a different way. We do need to have some digital etiquette, and I've had some conversations with certain people that made me address that shit. Although at the time I was like, in my real life, it don't really matter. I don't know if you guys understand, but I don't want to drag this on too much. I'm just saying, like, there's some, chicks out here that we just talk like that, and you might think that it don't go down like that in the UK, but we just talk like that. It's not like a big deal, and it's not like we're trying to be rude or anything, but it's almost in another way like an acknowledgement if you can have that sort of thing. But I guess that's what it was. But I apologize, Lady E, if you felt offended.
Thank you, Simon. I appreciate that, and I'm pretty sure Lady E appreciated that too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, chill. Hold on, Rick, hold on. You know what I'm saying? And salute to Chocolate. I see you in the building, Chocolate. Hey, sis, I see you. You know what I mean? I definitely want to acknowledge you.
Yeah, thank you. Just wanted to come and support.
Definitely. Thank you for coming to support. Cookie, wherever you want to go with this conspiracy corner, I definitely want to hear this so we can continue.
All right, welcome to the conspiracy corner. Are you going to play the theme music or no?
Let's get that theme music, man.
Give me my theme music. No, okay. So first week of college football pops off, and every game, Florida versus who are they playing? I can't remember. Somebody in the SEC, which is always feisty. In the NFL, in the
You'll awaken to one day have many
Colorado
questions.
before they played Oregon State. I
Your
get
time
rival
marches
games, but
The delayed reaction.
it was like real live fights.
Super delayed.
It was very lit, like when it came to violence, like real violence. Somebody's liver got one of Deion Sanders' players get dirty hit after the play. It was just all bad.
Oh no.
So I looked at my sister and I asked her, I was like, hey, what's going on? Like, what's going on with the planet alignment? And she told me that she pulled up the solar system on her phone and that all of the planets were on the same side of the sun. Because I'm a firm believer in gravitational pull and how the universe affects our moods and our attitudes. And she pulled that up and she showed it to me and she was like, oh my God, this is probably why people are violent and people, other than it being uncontrollably hot outside, and it wasn't a Mercury retrograde or anything like that. It's like scientific facts like that when all of the planets are aligned on the same side of the sun at the same time at a certain time of year, that people get violent. And I just thought that was amazing because I didn't know, I didn't understand, but they were all really out there risking it all over football. And I just could not understand that. So my question to the panel is, I know that it's been a hot summer for everybody on the planet that has a summer in the Northern Hemisphere right now. But do y'all feel like during like the first week of football, like maybe like 2 weeks ago, that like there was a bunch of like extra violent stuff going on around you, like in your town and stuff like that? Because it was bad where I am in Houston. So I went and looked. It wasn't just the football. And I know it sounds like it's far-fetched in our region, but it was really bad. Like there's alligators popping up in places they shouldn't be down here. And there's little kids fighting. The fights were breaking out at school. I'm like, what is happening? And for like 4 or 5 days straight, all the planets were on one side of the solar system, the same side.
Well, I think that's
yes, that's when I forgot to pray. Thank you, Gray Pill. Welcoming us back. So do y'all study the solar system? Do y'all look? Do y'all even know anything about that? Or
I do. I love it.
Hey, Gray Pill.
Hey, you guys. Astronomy and astrology. So both of them. It is it's a practice that's like as old as it's been, you know what I mean, registered. So yeah, I completely can get with that.
So did you notice anything like maybe 2 weeks ago, like just stuff being real weird? Even
I was sitting here just telling my sister that. I was like, this is stuff you're talking about, you know what I mean? And we, you know, my mother was like a very like earthy person, so it's like you do feel like it's a shift in the air.
Yeah,
like the electricity starts to fire. Yeah, so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so it's not really conspiracy. I'm just drawing awareness to like, there's an app that you can download on your phone where you can check where the solar system is and where the gravitation is.
Yeah.
And where the stars are aligned and how the atoms in your body react to how all this is aligned. And I don't know if y'all believe it, but it's real. It is real.
Well, I would like to say that I think it's natural for they call it an increase in arousal. An increase in arousal. When it's warm conditions, the body temperature increases, which makes everything fluctuate and body temperature and sweat and all that. So it makes people more active and more prone to things like anger, like reacting to things like anger, which is like a stimulus that comes from the warm condition. And I think that what you, and I believe you said it was your friend, discovered is interesting. I don't know the science in pertaining to certain planets being aligned that could affect certain days when these conditions are warmer for us here on Earth in certain areas. But I will say that when you combine your theory with the possible theory of chemtrails, I think that's something that could possibly increase the probability of people reacting in the heat. But obviously there's no way that any of us or me can prove any of that. I think chemtrails exploit the natural behaviors of people being more active when it's warm.
Right. It got real barbaric for about a week. And starting to calm down a little bit now. And I was just like, what is happening? Like, alligators in the neighborhood, like, and it affects all the animals, like even not just us.
Funny thing that you mentioned that right before we started the show, they actually had a video of an alligator in Lake Pontchartrain. That's like unheard of.
It is. That's fresh water.
Yes, because people need to stop getting alligators as pets and then just releasing them.
That's the problem.
That's what's happening.
They
Yeah,
flush
it's
it
not
down.
like they right. It's not like they're breeding out of control.
Oh, in
People lose
Louisiana,
control.
we don't keep them as pets. We eat them.
But I mean, and that's fantastic. I'm just saying that
People are crazy.
People here in certain parts of the country, you just leaving your alligator on the side of the road, or you just dropping it off somewhere, because this is insane.
Wait,
on.
Zamal, I'm sorry, Charlie. Wait, Zamal, you said that you heard about like the alligators and the like the behavior of people around you getting in fights and different animals showing up in odd places. You said this happened 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting, because I had skimmed through a story about, I don't know exactly when it happened, but I'm pretty sure it's maybe like 5 days, maybe 7 days ago, where there was like 7-foot python that was found in the hood of someone's car.
Yeah, see?
And it was like no one knew where it came from. So I don't know. I just thought that was interesting.
It is. And the roadkill, like well, I live in Texas. It's normal, but it was unbelievably crazy. Like 2 weeks ago, like almost like I was like, are they just jumping in the street? Are they not trying to make it across the street? Like dead animals everywhere.
Right.
It was wild. And then when I saw the humans on TV acting like animals, I decided to do a little more research. I usually keep up with it more myself, but my sister is the real star child in the family. And she was like, no, sis, it's the gravitational pull. The way the science behind it is the sun is pulling us in one direction, right? But also we're orbiting. But when all the planets are behind us, we're being pulled two different ways. It's almost like we're being like ripped apart. Like our body, like our atoms are like in full like vibration mode. So when all the planets behind us are aligned.
When is this, if you don't mind me asking?
It happened already.
It's happened? Like what is this event called?
We missed it.
I'm just asking. I'm like just wondering. What's the event? Say it again, love.
What was the question? I'm sorry.
No. You're good, beloved.
What is it called?
I was just wondering, what's this event called?
It's called the solstice, but
Okay.
it's not winter or summer. It's kind of like a medium solstice that happens between. It could be called the fall solstice, but it's not necessarily a solstice because they weren't directly aligned. And usually during the solstice, they're aligned, but there's like half on one side of the sun and half on the other. 2 weeks ago, every single planet in our solar system behind us was on the same side, pulling behind us. And Mercury was right in front of us, and Venus. So we had to pull from Mercury and Venus and the sun, and then the planets that were behind us. So it was like we were being pulled in two different directions, and it puts a lot of stress on the Earth, and we're all connected. Everything's round, circular, and the atoms in our bodies, they got full vibrational. And I think that's what started all of the violence and the animals popping up in random places and dogs.
And that's why they did that. That's why they were doing that smash and grab in New York.
Maybe so, because I noticed that a lot of that has calmed down. Like people,
I did see that. Wow.
They were.
Well,
You said it's called a solstice?
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know much about that,
Respect to you.
But I just feel like humans are
I got a title locking. So that's all. But it does say exactly what you're describing. They call it a title locking. But respect.
That's cool. I think it's a very interesting theory you came up with. I don't know the science in that right now, but I would say that I don't think that anything that happens natural pertaining to the alignment of planets. If it makes our atoms or whatever vibrate, or the matter within us vibrate more, I think it's something that's supposed to happen at that time. Like it's a sign for something that is to come.
Oh, absolutely.
And yeah, so I think that if anything affects us in a negative way, I feel like it's something artificial that the government or something is doing to exploit that natural progression of the example you're using of the planets being aligned and then we're being pulled in two different directions. They're exploiting that in a way that would incur major violence in the community, like the inhabitants of the planet.
Yeah.
But hey, I gotta go, guys. I just want to say it was cool talking with all of you guys. Before I go, though, I really want to like you, Zamal Jackson. I really want to like you, but this question, right, is going to inform me if you should be an enemy or not. I see the Black Panther poster back there. Please answer this question. Killmonger was right?
He was.
Yay! Okay, I can like you now.
Killmonger was actually
yeah, hey, we're allies now. We're all good. Let the atoms vibrate. I don't give a fuck. You guys have a good day. Thank you, Mr. Best in the World. God bless you guys. See you.
Much love, brother. Much love. Let me say this.
I never seen that movie.
You never seen Black Panther? You tripping? Oh my God.
Ooh, Black Card about to get revoked.
when you say y'all eat the gators, right? Do y'all also put it in the pasta as well? Yeah, I'm going there.
No, we do not put it in the pasta. We just fry it. We just fry it.
Yeah, I've had the nuggets.
And you might find it in sausage, and that's about it.
Gator nuggets were good. It did it didn't taste quite like chicken, but they fried it and it was really good.
It's like a cross of chicken and catfish. Is the best way I can describe gator meat.
I can in having some, I can see why you say
But
that.
see, this is what I'm trying to figure out. So it's a cross between chicken and catfish. Last time that I checked, we are not short on chicken. We are not short on catfish. I don't know why we gotta add gator into shit, but hey, I'm gonna leave that alone. I digress. My mic is muted. I'm just saying. People tell me frog legs taste like chicken wings, and I'm like, why don't you just go get chicken wings if the frog legs taste like chicken wings? I just don't get it. I don't understand it. But look, maybe that's just me.
Thing. That's all. What? It's just we say it as to be as relatable as close as possible. It's not about that.
You shouldn't even know what it tastes like.
Why?
I'm not gonna go there.
Smitty, if it makes you feel any better, I don't eat frog legs and I don't eat possum and what else they eat down here. That is Nutria. I will not try Nutria at all whatsoever. But I will eat some deer sausage. Deer sausage is off the chain.
Venison is actually very good for you. Venison, that is a very good meat to eat. It definitely is. Especially when prepared.
Bambi ain't doing nothing to you while you eating them.
Yeah, I don't mess with that. I don't get down with the venison.
Right. But you'll eat a whole dinosaur out the water. See, this is what I'm talking about. But it's all right though.
What do you mean a dinosaur out of the water? How do you
Gator?
That's
it's a reptile.
It's not so you think we the first one that done trawled up and rung up a
You'll eat Jurassic Park, but you won't touch Bambi. I'm just saying. Priorities over here.
Park because it's not real.
No, we eat Bambi too. Well, the mama.
I eat birth of the cow. I eat.
It's kind of like when people come from the north and try crawfish for the first time.
Right, like
it's crayfish, but we'll talk about that.
Wow, don't
it's crazy.
Don't do that. You're gonna be like Jamal Williams talking about vignettes and not beignets.
Yeah. It's all great. It's all great.
They eat. I don't know.
No. I mean,
up there it is spelled CRAY, but down here it is CRAW. We do have a W in there, so it's crawfish.
Okay. Hey, what do y'all eat? Those nubs on the alligator or something? What y'all eat on that thing?
The tail.
Even worse, like she didn't make it
But have you
no
ever
better.
had? You had
Just
any before,
solidified
sir?
mean,
everything.
we play
Just
Florida.
solidified it all. Wow.
There's a, like,
All
did
right,
you
you
ever
know
eat escargot?
I
what?
do not eat escargot.
I do.
Okay,
I love
snails.
escargot.
That's snails. If people are familiar,
Why?
people eat that. People eat
Why?
snails.
You
I
ever ask
know
yourself why?
human beings are humaning, and
No,
Humans
no,
in
no.
other
Just to be
countries eat
fancy and different.
roaches.
Even buttery
no, but
garlic
what's
are
wrong with
amazingly
being
good.
fancy and different? If that's what you want to do, who says you cannot be, and who says that you're fancy because you have something called
This is like
escargot?
this
Escargot
is
is seasoning.
listen. When you go to places and you see stuff like fried starfish on a stick, like listen,
That's
I'm just saying, we don't need to test and taste every damn thing.
that's
We don't.
that's your
We don't.
opinion,
I
right?
don't like I think some things should just be kind of left alone. Like, we ain't gotta try that. You ain't gotta try
Yeah,
that.
goddamn.
Why are you eating python? Why?
Don't do cricket.
Why? Now listen, I get it. There are some countries where it really is scarce, and I mean, you just get to a point where you just be trying like almost anything, right? I can get that. No, bump that. We are in North America. There is no excuse. We have grocery stores where you can get all kinds of already fresh chopped everything. There's no reason why I should come to your black ass house and you got horse leg and possum
That's
on the
my
table.
choice, though.
It's no
You can
excuse,
do
and I'm
that.
not going for it. I
Well,
don't want to
nobody.
hear nothing about no exotic. We being different and fancy. I'm just gonna order some shit.
I
I'm
don't
just
think
letting you
But
anybody
know.
you
is
do
forcing.
realize that some of those exotic things, like the alligator, you can buy that in the grocery store here in the South at the butcher block.
They need to shut y'all down.
Oh,
Period.
people gonna eat what they eat, and that is just all.
Smitty, I gotta ask, where you from? Where you from? I gotta ask where you from, because I hear you a chef. You like to dilly dabble in the kitchen.
Maryland.
Oh, the land of the bland food.
There she go. You trust us with that if you want to. Y'all know y'all love y'all seafood. Home with that shit.
I'm more of I like steaks. I could
Yeah,
do
I mean that's normal stuff. I mean, I don't know. Stuff like that. I mean, I I get a chance. From steak, goat, lamb, elk, venison, you name it. Bison.
Shark.
I had bison once.
It's really
Did you
good.
say
It's a better
shark?
texture meat.
burgers. Oh my
You
god!
done ate shark
Eat a
before?
regular.
I have not, but
You
Shark,
ain't got no
shark
damn
is
business eating
actually
shark. Whoever said
no
that shit, you
shark
ain't got
is
no damn
no
business.
shark meat is actually common in the Caribbean.
yeah, I was getting ready to
You ain't
say
got no business eating that.
what?
No, you
Okay, but
don't.
nobody is forcing anybody to eat this. Like
It
they
doesn't
eat
matter.
it because it's in their culture, or they just want to try you. What
Do they
people
really
try
eat
all kinds of
starfish
stuff.
though?
It's also people in
I
that
can't see
culture that
nobody
eat
eating no starfish.
people. Okay?
Okay,
Should we
that's
keep up with that culture? You
oh
like to
my,
taste human thighs and biceps and stuff? No, no.
sure. That's
Everything
great.
is not supposed to be. I'm sorry. You
Cannibalism?
should
Yeah,
never
well,
be to
that
a point where you're eating a squirrel.
people eat squirrel here, sir, in the United States. What do
I
you
don't, I
know?
don't, I don't, and you know what? And you know what? They should be
No.
deported. That's right. That's
Okay.
right. Every last one of them. Deport them. That's right.
How you
Deport them.
import somebody from their own country, though?
I don't
Huh?
know. But I wanted to come up and support.
I
Hello,
don't know.
Elise.
We're gonna figure out a law. We will make some shit up and we will get their ass up out of here. I'm sorry. Get them up out
How
of
do
here.
I
You like to
spell
eat squirrel.
your
Why do
name?
you like to eat squirrel? We got whole grocery stores. There is no excuse for
You
your
don't
ass to be eating squirrel. They got food stamps. They got every damn thing. Why are you eating squirrel?
Who
Because
getting
people
food
want to
stamps?
eat
Because I'm trying to get a
squirrel.
hookup on food stamps.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying they got every damn thing out here for us now. There is no reason why you should be
People
eating a
still
squirrel.
eating the same
Squirrel
thing.
might taste like
Squirrels
spam though.
get
You never know.
right.
That might be the
Squirrels
new
and
spam.
possums and
Some squirrel and
frogs.
eggs though.
Right. Like
Oh
people are
hell no!
All
You
right,
say
send me some of that
spam?
squirrel
Oh
and
hell
eggs.
Squirrel
no!
and eggs. Squirrel
But
and
if you
eggs.
were raised
Squirrel.
on that,
I just think about the
Squirrel and eggs.
chipmunks, even though it's like Alvin, Simon, and Theodore, and it's like,
Hey, you'll be eating that shit going do.
doop,
You
doop,
know what I'm saying?
Yo,
I don't know. I just see you kicking the bucket because you ain't had no business eating that shit.
Oh my goodness.
Walk up in the house and
I
smell
will
like
say
fire
this:
squirrel, boy.
if you can, at this point in time, with everything is genetically modified, you're kind of better off catching your own.
the more food you eat that's not from the store, the better.
Correct.
I mean, that's
There's like no reason why you should go in the grocery store and all the meat are the same exact colors, no matter when it was
But
packaged.
see, the thing is this though. Everything that y'all saying, I actually applaud that. I actually, to a degree, to a small degree, I live that life because I do grow certain vegetables and stuff, and I, you know, that's something I'm on. I love to fish. I hunt. But I'm gonna tell you right now, you already know everything we
Already
saying.
know.
It sounds good, but most black folks, it's not about because most of us don't even want to go in the woods. Okay, all right.
Well,
A lot of this has to deal with nature, and a lot of us we don't want to get our nails messed up. We don't want to get dirty and sweaty. You see, we got on our new J's, the whole nine. So I'm just saying, like, we need to like really get off of a lot of certain things first before we start thinking about like really getting into that life. And my point is in saying that to land it is I hear a lot of people talk about that shit. And I mean just the basics on when I'll have like a homie of mine come by and help me out. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness, the crying they be doing. It's a lot of crying involved because it's like, yeah, you really gotta make sure that we gotta really till this soil. You gotta really rotate this.
Yeah.
All right, so so once we done with that, nope, now we gotta lay this down. Nope, now we gotta wait 2 days and we gotta let that sit. Then we gotta come back and a lot of people just don't have the patience.
They don't.
You really think we're gonna
They
go
don't
from
have the patience
DoorDash and Amazon Prime and Netflix to waiting for something to grow?
Well,
yeah, all right.
may I say,
Yeah, all right.
I took gardening in this year, and it was something that I've always grew up around. And I won't lie, gardening is therapeutic for me to be able to get up early in the morning and go out and pull weeds and push dirt around and water the plants and bearing the fruits of my labor. And I enjoyed it this year. And it was difficult. So I actually got the hard part of it because we had the drought this year. So it was timing of turning on the sprinklers and turning them off. And there's been several times I forgot to turn them off and my water bill was high as hell.
I'm asking a real direct question, and I really want to know this from us because you really just opened up something that I'm thinking about on this. So genuinely, thinking about think about everything how this world is set up now. So how this world is set up now, everything is to be instant. You know, like it's supposed to be right then and there. It's my money. I need it now. You don't even have to work out no more. Just put this belt on. You can sit there, flip the remote, watch the game, eat a steak and cheese, and get 6-pack abs. Like everything is instant. So do you really think, because I be thinking about this as far as like, we truly used to be the true cultivators of the earth. And I'm talking about black people. Like we really were the ones like truly in tune with life. We didn't just talk about good vibes and shit because we had a party. Nah, that was a real thing that we genuinely lived like because we were truly people of the soil, people of the earth. And I've recognized we've lost that. So do you really think that we can go from where we are now, how far we are now? Do you think that's reversible? And even if you do think it's reversible, how many generations do you think that's going to take? Because it damn sure ain't going to be with us.
It's definitely going to take a lot of generations. That is a fact.
Never lost that. I grew up fishing and hunting, and we all have green thumb. I could go out in the bush and be fine. My dad was a Marine. He raised us that way. But on a mass scale, like we're in trouble. If it turns into Mad Max and the Thunderdome, our whole race might go extinct. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie.
I wish I had the video to upload. It's somewhere on my cloud, but we had a hurricane. We were out of power and electricity for several days, and I literally took bricks outside and dry shrub and built a fire, and the meat that was thawing in the freezer.
Mm-hmm.
Took the pots out, brought it outside, cooked the whole full meal outside.
Right.
On
Being as
bricks.
creative.
And it's just some people don't know those survival mechanisms, but it's so important to learn those things.
Right.
Yes.
And we had grilled chicken too.
Hey.
Grilled chicken, rice and lentils, and we had fried up some plantains. So we used what we had, but guess what? We were eating good.
Yeah, exactly. But I did want to say in response to that, we can grow food so many different types of ways now. And I think to what your point was, sir, of people wanting to go from Netflix to like actually growing their own food, if I'm understanding that right. Well, there's a lot more people doing it than you think. I'm happy to say I'm one of those people where we just acquired just a piece of property, piece of land that we can grow food through in greenhouses. You could control the temperature. You have technology now to push and connect us in a larger way, the same way we do out here on YouTube. At your garden and somebody else's garden, and we teach each other and you learn from one another. Some people are more hands-on, some people need some kind of like instruction, and some people just are like, yeah, if I could, like, you could grow microgreens. You don't even have to if you don't have a garden, right?
You can dwarf a fruit-bearing tree to where you can bring it inside certain times of the year. Tropical trees at that. So if you live in a climate that it gets cold, you can bring this plant inside and it is still bearing fruit. But of course, lighting plays a big role.
They got them chia joints too, though. Them chia joints be going hard.
But see, here's the other part of it. The thing that I think would really assist is that, we're manufacturing that as well as like kits and different things to assist people in particular areas so they can start to, they can learn. You kind of have the new technology of, I guess I would compare it to like, the, what are those called? I can't think of it. What's the thing? The thing that you run on at the gym. You know what I'm talking about? Thank you. Oh my God. It was like killing my brain. You know how some of the new treadmills that are out, they have an experience with that, right? Like you can join these, groups, or you can, run up a mountain with 10 people from around the world. It has all these extras. I'm not saying that it has to be that extreme. What I'm saying is that with the technology we have now and the ability to reach as many people as possible to assist with eating better, eating healthier. And we know, just like word of mouth, seeing somebody that look like you that's doing something that a person may want to try, someone is more likely to do it.
So instead of arguing so much on the internet, upload yourself planting some greens.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to share it. Like, stop charging people for the knowledge. At this point in time, it's a survival mechanism because you're seeing that cancer is at an all-high rate. Mm-hmm. And I feel that a lot of it has to do with the things that we buy in the grocery store.
Of course.
Everything's genetically modified. Like, I purchased what it was. Bell peppers from Sam's. And they sat on my countertop for 2 weeks before they started to wilt. Now, I have bell peppers growing in my garden, and I picked them, and within less than 24 hours, they're already starting to rot.
Right.
So if you pick them, you have to put them in the refrigerator, but you buy them from the store, you cannot put them in the refrigerator.
I used to think when my grandmother went to the grocery store, and so she would buy water or buy milk, and when we got home, she would take bleach and she would wipe the whole carton down before she put it in the refrigerator. And I used to be like, why? Why would you as a kid, you're like, why are we doing that? And that's exactly to your point of the different things that are in the foods that we eat every day, especially fruits and vegetables, because they are being transported in or out of our country in a different, they're coming from different places. That's why when there was a food delay, it was because food wasn't coming up from, Mexico City back into the United States, so on and so forth. So it's like, yes, I think a lot of people will be down. I just think that it's how it's presented.
We started with our own avocados. We wasn't waiting on Mexico.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot, instead of it being, people may take it as, oh my God, I'm growing something. They may look at it as, something daunting. And it's like, nah, you could do this. Here's what.
And not that it's just daunting. They're also comparing it to what they see in the grocery store. So lemons, it has a tendency. A lot of the times, it's ashy on the outside. None of these produce are shining and glistening or anything like that. Like, this is what it's supposed to look like.
Fruit.
Got wax on it.
Yeah, the plastic fruit. My grandmother had it, in the bowl, and it's like, you knew not to eat that, but that's what we're getting. And we're not even getting the full nutrients of that fruit or vegetable because it's being transported in a truck, in a ship, whatever it may be, you know what I mean? And then transferred again. So it's like, yeah.
And even the size of the fruit has been, hold up, let me go get my mango.
I tell a lot of people that even getting like flash frozen fruit is healthier than buying it out of the produce section.
We still got people that eat peas and corn and all that stuff out the can. Right? So
I am totally against eating any fruits or vegetables out of a can.
I can't.
Yes, my mom did not play that. Right. That's nice. There you go. There you go.
This is going to be my breakfast tomorrow, and this one might be lunch.
Nice.
That's what's up.
But yeah.
Well, guys, had an amazing night.
Hey, we've been up here for almost 3 hours.
And I'm tired.
Yeah.
And I have up and make sure my fantasy football team does well in the morning. So.
Yeah. And let's go Saints. Who that?
Who that nation? Who that talking about the Saints? Not tomorrow. We'll see though. Thank everybody for joining us. We apologize for the brief intermission of hostility. We normally don't carry ourselves in that manner, but I was already tired, and E and I, we said we were going to do it, so we're going to do what someone we said we're going to do. That's what me and E are going to practice on. But sometimes when you've had enough, you've had enough. And I'd had enough. So I apologize to anybody I offended with my language. And
I apologize to anybody that I offended. It's just E is unfiltered. E is raw. And
so
I tell the truth.
And normally I carry myself in a more professional way, but I'm also in season and I'm censored all day, every day, all week.
And that's how I feel like. I'm censored and have to carry myself in a professional manner Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to sometimes 6 p.m., sometimes as far as 6:30.
So when someone gives you a show and your name is on it and you feeling some type of way about it, when somebody telling you something on your own show, that things can spew out of your mouth. So 8-4, you are appreciated. I want you to know that. Any storming off I do is for the best. I promise you that, because I'm from the country. I got brothers and a Marine that had a potty mouth as a father. And it could have got bad real quick. Like, shut the whole thing down. We got flagged, all of that. So, I'll just...
And I'm from New Orleans.
Not be late.
We don't shut the fuck up.
Enough tonight. But other than that, thank y'all for joining us on our second episode of season 2. We're having a blast. We'll be back more organized and better than ever next time. You want to close it out? Thank you. 1, 2, 3 team. That's how we close.
Shout out to everyone that came through. I did get to speak on I think his name is Smith7, whatever his name is. Mm-hmm. Him coming up here and hopefully he gets to see this clip later on. Him coming up here and speaking about being incarcerated, and I like that it was a safe place for him to speak on that. And the reason why I said that was because there was a time where I thought I was in a safe space to speak on being a single mother with a child that has a deceased father and being trampled on my experience. And I felt like in that moment, I guess I was able to protect him. And so for him to know that this is a safe place for people to come through, to share those experiences, that I love that for him. And I can tell he was very kind of like, he wasn't sure if he was going to share it or not, but I really appreciated that he shared that.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too.
I just want to say thank you, Ian Cookie, for making this a safe place for me to come up. No, stop.
Whether it's safe or not.
Because, I was holding the camera and it's all my fault that he was looking zesty.
His name is Smitty. Okay. Smitty. Okay, his name is Smitty. But if you see him, Nina, tell him I appreciate it.
Nina was spitting facts in the comments all night.
Yeah, we like that.
I didn't read it, but yeah, because it was our fault. Put down your camera phone, ladies. Stop making these men look zesty out here. Because it's all your fault. It's all your fault, women. As soon as we touch the camera, here come a zesty. That's it.
I'm just confused.
Right.
I'm confused that we're accepting the gay community and everything else, and then all of a sudden it's our fault that they're being. Yeah, there was a lot going on over there.
No, it was the camera. It was. I bet you a woman is holding the camera. That's why he looked zesty.
Right.
That's what threw me off. I couldn't get past that.
Girl, like, what did I come?
The power of an iPad Pro, huh?
All right, we will see you guys next time. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us. We were not expecting this to go this long, but as promised, 8-4 had our visitors here waiting for us.
Mm-hmm.
And joyful.
8-4 came with the smoke today. That's what that was. He said, get on up there. I'm sick of these two. I'm sick of these two coming up here looking all cute and everything.
Oh, Lord. Good night, everybody. Everybody have a good night. Good night, y'all.